everybody. The music that you're listening to is put together by Cousin Will. If y'all like the music he done put together, sing some fire in your ear. If you hear us, I see fire, they hear you. Town Chief is coming on. He's coming on. In. Come on in. Greetings to you all too. Hey y'all. As the music going down, I hate to turn it off on us. It was getting a little good. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Nidiua is still here. She'll be coming on. I see Mr. Waldo. There you go, Mr. Waldo. Got Oklahoma in the house now. I see we have Mr. Pearly in here with us tonight. Come on in. Oh, y'all jumping in quick now. We done jumped up 33. Come on. Hey, y'all, we're going to let them come on in a little more because we don't want to repeat. And I asked Mr. Pearly to be on here with us tonight because we are talking about networking our power, networking our music. We're going to make some changes. Hello, California. And I noticed also we hitting in Canada and the UK. So welcome Canada and welcome UK. That's right, networking Sunflower. Y'all have to remember, Chief is a civil rights leader. I think that's what makes me a good chief too. I know how to reach my people. I know we need somebody to advocate for us. Hello, Texas. We got Texas, we have California. Come on in. Welcome. I want to thank you all because y'all have been really pushing hard and tell me y'all really want to network. That means you really want to network. Okay, Amy, I'm looking. Amy told me to look up. I was trying to answer here. I'm back on the screen. Thank you, Aunt Ema. Those of y'all who knew, Aunt Ema is that stage director when I'm on here. So everybody that already know, Amy gonna tell us what I'm not doing. I want to thank you all for taking that show last night. We did stay a little late. We was having a good time. Who's that I kept up past their bedtime?
I think it was American Indian, Indian American or something.
American Indian I kept up. I love you too, American Indian. If you just gave up a little, you'll sleep for us. Not tonight, Chief tired. We've been running all day. But that's called dedication. But I hope it was worth it. Ohio, welcome to the house. We're going to network like the old civil rights movement. For those of you who are new, we're going to use the old technique with modern technology. We're going to wake up some people. I asked Mr. Perla to be on here. He's one of our blues people out there in the blues world. We have Cousin Will in the house. He's always playing music somewhere. We're going to go back and get what we didn't have. Oh, don't I see? North Dakota, welcome to the house. Virginia, welcome to the house. Shout this place out so we see it. God will, if I miss a place, y'all email, y'all let me know. We want to build a grassroots network. Boy, Cleveland, Ohio in the house. I have family in Cleveland, Ohio too. I see. Thank you, Cleveland, for wishing me well. Mississippi, Hattiesburg in the house. If y'all work with me. Pennsylvania in the house. I want to know where you're coming from. Washington, D.C. in the house. We talking to the power that be right now. Come on now, y'all doing it. Come on, throw some fire to your place. When you put your name, throw some fire. You know they're going to come back and watch this all night. South Carolina in the house. Who else in the house? Come on, let's let them see we got a network. We're going to take that grassroots, bring it to the internet, and they're going to hear us. St. Louis, Missouri in the house. Connecticut in the house. See, I didn't even know how far we was reaching. Now we letting the world know what we're doing. San Francisco. Okay, Las Vegas by the way of San Francisco. Okay. See, this is when you let them know we getting ready to mean business. Got Detroit in the house again. Put yourself up with fire. See, while y'all putting your fire up and you're coming in, from now on when we come in, I want us to announce ourselves. Louisiana in the house. Minnesota in the house. Ohio again in the house. Or it's gonna be some of our people we know in Cleveland. Cleveland is in the house. That's right, St. Tammany in the house. We're gonna network. Charlotte, North Carolina in the house. I'm gonna show y'all how we did it the long old time way. Philly in the house. I told y'all yesterday, everybody is a leader. When you throw that fire by your place, you in the house, you a leader. We waiting on somebody to do what we need to do. We the people we've been waiting for. Florida in the house. I see out in the Florida, Oklahoma coming on up. Mr. Waldo himself. He got fire. Y'all know that already. Now, while we talking and they coming in, we're going to give a few more little shout out. We can see if we'll get us about 4 more in the house. If it don't come, guess what? We rolling. They'll catch us on the rerun. Nidiua will be coming on. I want to deal with some issues that I read last night, which was dynamite. Okay? Nidiua love y'all. Y'all just done swole her head. She love y'all. She actually told me I have one of the best audience. She was saying how intelligent. Richmond, Virginia in the house. That means we got the cleanest site that can even be put into a schoolhouse. We teaching in here. We want our stuff where the children can hear it. Okay, California, New York in the house. We're gonna build a network that we don't have to worry about Democrat, Republican. Y'all know Chief Warhorse gonna tell it like it is. I've been telling you. They're gonna be looking for us. Okay? Where am I at? Got some more places over here. Come on. I email Will. Y'all can welcome her. Noreen, if you got your phone over there. Help call them out while I keep talking.
Vicky talking about the crawfish fest. That was in Slidell today. And Slidell.
I didn't go to the crawfish fest today. We had the grandbabies that was tied up at ball game. But we eat so much crawfish around here anyway, you know, but it's a nice fest. And when we start doing things where we can be included as a people, maybe you all will come down and we can enjoy each other at the fest.
She's here. That's Slidell in the house.
Slidell in the house?
At the crawfish fest.
Where you at?
It's Vicky.
All right, Vicky. You been to the fest, or you still at the fest? Because I didn't make it. But we're going to be doing something, Vicky and Slidell. We're going to be doing a live bring your own chair show in Slidell. We're working on the date and time, but we will be at the Slidell Museum from what I'm understanding. And you're able to bring your own chair for a live show.
Maryland in the house.
Okay, they say Maryland is in the house. Welcome. We're going to build a network, but we don't have to wait on. And some people are going to be offended by what I'm saying, but we have to do it. I'm sorry. We're going to have to pull the tooth, and we don't have no anesthesia right now. The reason we don't have no anesthesia, they ain't give us none, and we don't have no money to get none because we took everything from us. So we just have to pull the tooth. Okay? Georgia in the house. What I'm fixing to say. We are going to have to get ourselves together with letting people use us to self-destruct. We were talking about that today, Phoenix. We were talking about that today, Mr. Perry. We sometimes are our own worst enemy because we are connected to stuff that we don't want to disconnect from. How are you going to get someone to take you serious when you won't disconnect? The tooth is hurting. It's time to pull it. It's not going to get better if we don't pull it. How are we going to pull the tooth? We're going to take a stand as leaders. Reverend James Owens used to tell us everybody's a leader. Either you're leading for the right thing, or you're leading for the wrong thing, or you're leading somebody not to do nothing. Now, which one of those leaders do you want to be? So here we go. We talked about politicians and preachers. Okay? We got fraternities and sororities. Come on, y'all, name some stuff in this room.
Masons,
all of those organizations, right? None of them paying attention to what's going on in our community. If they are, they're not doing it underneath the name of whatever they're associated with. So it's time we take back our power and dollar. Okay? Are y'all with me? You don't need me going into it if I'm going where you don't want to go. If you want to go where I'm going, send me some love and fight. Then I'll take you there. Remember that song? I'll take you there.
Don't think we need bigger.
Amy told me don't sing nobody's song, but I'll take you there. But we got to learn to follow leadership. They have taught us not to follow women. They have taught us not to follow anyone that's doing something that is not connected to the controlled system. We have to break the norm. Other people have came to this country. They have gained more rights, more power than the ones of us who've been here. We have aided and abetted our own demise. And they use us to fight in politics. We're helping the minority or the black. You know, Roe versus Wade, they helping the black women. How you helping me? How? And I'm going to say something very controversial, but in this, we're going to say, we cooking. But I'm going to give you some ingredients to go shop for so that you don't say Chief just lying and just talking. I want y'all to see what was the case, and some of y'all know, Roe versus Wade, what was it for? We're going to study that. Okay, Phoenix? I got something in my eye, y'all, excuse me. But we're going to deal with, what this is, it might make me my own hair. Let me stop laughing at me. We're going to look at why they created the system of abortions. We're going to see how much of that was created for us. And let's see who that was aiming toward. We're going to look at the Civil Rights Bill, both the Indian right, okay? And we're going to look at the Civil Rights Bill, because there's two bills signed. Now, once we do this, we're going to get a little clarity on where we're gonna get a little clarity on who benefiting. If we don't go back and see what's in the writing, we don't know how far behind we are or how many people are using what we have fought for to move forward. I'm tired of us fighting and picketing, protesting, getting beat down, talked about, and we still don't benefit. You know, really, I didn't just come out here. People asked me to come back out. I got phone calls, emails. I even had bishops calling me. I want y'all to know I do have a few friends that is ministers that actually help people. Not talking about them. They know that. They're not going to be offended by what I'm saying. No more than when Dr. King had to talk about what the ministers wasn't doing. No more than Dr. King had to talk about the letter from the Birmingham jail. Some things we talk about is going to be highly controversial. Now, what am I going to talk about? I saw the fire go by, that mean you want to hear it. We're going to have to take one of Dr. Lowry's little thing. We're going to have to take our dollar and teach it some senses like Dr. Lowry said. Not 99 cents in their pocket and 1 cent in ours. We need to become accountable for how much we earn and stay with us. We need to be accountable for where we put our money. Do it speak for us and represent us? I'm not talking about just the church. I'm talking about your organization. We have a lot of organizations. I told you, got instant pop organizations. They pop up when it's a crisis, then they go out. We need real leadership. And you the person you've been waiting for. Do y'all agree with me? This time send some fire for you. Because you are the one that I'm looking at is the leadership that's dedicated enough to get out here and research. That's dedicated enough to stay online, listen to Chief for 2 hours plus sometime. My son-in-law said, y'all getting the easy part because sometimes I keep them for 6 hours. Mr. Waldo know that. Me and him be on the phone. Y'all, excuse me for this eye thing, but I don't have no false eyelashes on. I just have my own hair in my eye. But okay. It's aggravating me, and I might have to leave the camera for a minute and get it out of you. But anyway, you, Mr. Waldo, have been making changes in Oklahoma. He took a stand. And when you take a stand in your town, other people will take a stand. And the civil rights movement, if you look at the show with me and Styver, we say we mobilize, meaning we can go from state to state. I saw Mississippi on there. Hattiesburg is not that far from here. Hattiesburg, you can come to me and I can come to you in no time flat. And we can network. We're giving our money and time to the wrong thing. You don't even have to dance around the internet. Look at what happened to us in laws and rules. See where it's helping us. Is it not? Eliminate that. Pull that tooth. You don't need that tooth. If that tooth not helping you, if your children is in jail and nobody's going their bail with you and trying to help you, to help whoever is incarcerated, you need to pull your organization together. You don't need a national organization. You national. You the leader. I was very young when I refused to be held down. I'm 63, still fighting. My daughter sit on here and she let you know. Raggedy cars, all of that. I didn't take excuses. Because I had my children. And that's the way you're going to have to do. We can't wait on Democrats and Republicans. I'm tired of hearing leaders talk about. Y'all give me a pause moment. Let me put this eye drop in. Thank you, Cutting Wheel. Yeah, Cutting Wheel, go with the music. sit around and wonder if love's gonna come your way. Y'all hear Cut Will back there, huh? I'll give you a minute on it, cuz. Good times and how love drove you crazy. I like it, cuz. You're gonna tune it down while you feel it. Yeah, song about love. Okay, well, what we've been talking about.
Mad love.
He says called Mad Love. Listen, thank you for letting me step up and get this hair out my eye, because now I might can see a little bit better on the screen without winking at y'all. Any laughing at me. But what I'm trying to say, the power is in the people, the power is in the number. Earlier today, I did talk with Mr. Waldo, I talked with Phoenix, I talked with Mr. Purley. I told them we can double our numbers and do whatever we want. We don't even have to drive to build up the numbers to get attention. If we as people of color can't use our own numbers in Cincinnati, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and bring these politicians to a point where they gotta sit in front of us. Phoenix have a petition out there. You gotta beg people to sign a petition to get something for themselves. If everybody on this internet that said they wanted to make some changes about what happened to the Black Indian, you need to be signing that petition. That petition should be running on your page. You should be talking about that petition. And everybody telling me who we need to talk to. We need to talk to who doing something. Johnny digging the ditch is a leader if he take a stand. I'm not worrying about who wrote books, because in whatever they wrote, they have a contribute to help you in your community, your state, gain back power. I can't see where I'm at up there, but Will, what town that is up there? Mississippi. Waynesboro, Mississippi. Welcome in the house. Know where that's at for sure. Look how close some of us is. Now the internet done eliminated miles. Now I can't see y'all physically, but y'all physically see me. As a leader, y'all see my kids. Y'all haven't seen my son yet. Now he's really not a camera person. But I will tell you, that's one of the sponsors that got me where you can see me. His company sponsors the wireless internet that we use and can take on the road. And that company, and I'm not giving him a commercial, but Amy laughed at me, Mr. Waldo, and said when I did that little jig when Tom Macon was here, she was laughing because his company name is Payload. And so she wanted me to let PC take that and have people to notice his company. They already noticed it, his mama here. And we thank PC, my son. My son also sponsored the 40-foot freezer the tribe had for disaster. I'm not giving them a commercial, I'm just showing y'all how we get what we get. We have a 40-foot reefer freezer. Oh, that's not really a reefer, that's a shipping freezer. So when there's disasters, we don't have to depend on somebody else to store our food. Phoenix is wanting me to do some stuff on preparedness to go to TikTok. We're gonna do that, Phoenix. What I want you all to know, especially Mississippi and Florida, we're the people that are getting hit with storms. We don't have time to play games with fraternities, sororities, preachers, or politicians. Hurricane season coming. Who there for us? Mississippi just got hit again a while back. Who's gonna tell us how these people are gonna get rebuilt? I worked with Katrina on recovery, and I'm telling you, a lot of people still have not recovered. We build the best network we can. We don't have to worry about these other companies that's supposed to come, Red Cross, none of them. Red Cross started out of the Indian community. And y'all know good and well them Indians that can't even get the word straight, you know good and well they get commodities. You know they was not the one raised the food that saved the Irish. And you Irish people know that. But you ain't gonna come back and help who really helped you. The farmers who had land and farming. How in the heck you been raising a farm and you can't even, we have 2 generations of other immigrants. And they can speak clearly. And you still crying about you can't get grocery. You can't do this. You don't know your history. You want the United States to tell you who you are. Something wrong with that. I don't speak the best English, but I'm not running around here training my children. We need water. Water. We come out home. We need a school. There are many generations, 200 some years, and we come out whole. We gonna fall in hole if we keep telling that lie. I didn't come out whole. And that's why we got the records. Anybody gonna try no Chahta came out no hole. He might dig a couple of holes. Okay? But we ain't climb out of one. We not that crazy. I'm here to tell y'all, if we don't stand that lie dead in the face, we helping them to help us self-destruct. We keep voting for politicians that don't have time to come to our communities. Even if it's a disaster, they don't come. You know what we have to tell them? Because you know, when we had the white president, their hands were tied. We end up with one black president, his hands were tied. This election year coming up, y'all know what? Our hands need to be tied. I know we got elections kicking off in St. Tammany. I know qualifying is in June. I got some mismatched socks need to be made. Don't be playing games with these politicians. Don't let them think you're so hungry that you're willing to sell yourself out to get nothing. Because that's what we've been getting. We've been marching, picketing, protesting, writing petitions, signing petitions, developing petitions. Our people, mainly our men, done built this country. Construction work. I know we women do it too, because I do construction work, okay? But you know, we're going to be honest. The men was out there welding, pouring concrete, all of that, hauling timber. What do we have generational to show for the label that we are putting in this country? Nothing. They keep, every time we fight for something under one title, they reclassify us under another title, and another group move in and take that, which we fought for. How many more hundreds of years we gonna allow that to happen? Talk to me. We have a lot of states in this room right now. And I'm sure we're reaching a whole lot more than what we've seen. I told you we're reaching all the way to Canada, the UK. Let's wake it up. I saw somebody earlier say wake it up. Now, I was telling Mr. Purley today, and things, it's hard to, you know, when you travel. Well, you didn't get this, you travel a lot, saying keep switching beds and things waking you up, you forget what you're in the bathroom on. Some people, we waking them up, they've been moved around so much, they don't know if the bathroom on the left, the right, in front of them. You need to not just jump out the bed. Sit there. Refocus. If y'all was Aima, she over there laughing. I'm not gonna wake Aima up out of a deep sleep to do nothing for me. Nothing. It ain't gonna be right. She gonna make some mistakes. And she drove me today because she was sort of sleepy and I was super sleepy. That's what y'all know. I can drive. But she wasn't asleep, because if she was asleep, I wouldn't have got in the car. But if you wake Aima up, you about to cause a mess in the house, especially if you shake her real quick. That's the kind of stuff we used to. Get started. Some people out long, but you're still sitting in the bed. You ain't got out of bed yet. You might be woke, but are you up? Do you know which way the bathroom is? What is she talking about tonight? What is she cooking up? You can't find the restaurant to get the recipe from and not eat the food if you're waking up and don't know left from right. I'll be talking about stuff that just go right over people's head. So you ain't woke yet. When you understand 1493, that's a start, but you're not woke. I was amazed today, Noreen and I, from the show last night. Some of the leadership up in leadership in the Catholic Church text us, awesome last night. You did it. Even the church wants you to stand up. The Catholic Church can't tell the truth if you don't know who you are. Who they talking about? If they come out there with the records, it's not going to help you. Them same fake jakes. Okay, I'm missing some places. Same fake jakes that stole your identity. I'll be the same one. Call them out, cutting real funny.
Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville.
We had another one went by. Okay, if I miss you, we'll catch you. That was Huntsville, Alabama. Alabama went by. I'm not able to tell Huntsville nothing about SCLC and civil rights. I've been to Huntsville. I know what they used to do. Did y'all hear that word? Used to do. Come on now. That's when we done traveled so much under reclassification, you don't know which way the bathroom is. Let's refocus. And those of us know some people sleepwalk. Let's catch that sucker and bring them back. You're sleepwalking. Because some people saying they won't, but they sleepwalking. They moving, but they not alert, even in the mind. If we want to make a change, we have to take a stand. I want y'all to know Nadia done walked in the studio. But I come to give you some information before I bring you Nadia, because if y'all don't hear what me and Nadia and I was telling you and my son-in-law, you're not walking off the balcony because you're not woke, you're sleepwalking, or you've been startled. Finding out that your grandmother was an Indian because somebody told you that on the internet, startled. Now you want your land back. I cannot stand when I hear somebody out, I want my land back. Have you done your genealogy and found out where your land is at? You're hollering for something that you don't even know where it's at because you haven't taken time to connect you to your land. You just hollering they took your land. Your uncle might have took your land. Your aunt might have took your land. But we want to holler the white man took it. When you had black Europeans taking your stuff, you're like, black folks taking stuff from us now. Why we can't talk when black people do us wrong? Why we have a black president and we still begging somebody to sign the voting right bill? Why? Because it's not politically correct to say that the black president didn't sign it more than these no good white ones, Democrat or Republican. Wake up and don't walk off the balcony. Why don't you walk off? Some people gonna take their money and give it to the crooks. And the crooks, they don't even know them. When I started getting calls about people was giving people money on the internet, I'm like, now this is dumb. You're giving people $1,000 to make you a leader. You know what make you a leader? Stand up and start leading. You ain't got to pay nobody, nothing. Actually, real leadership pay themselves. But everybody want to be a leader because they got this false image that leadership makes you money. If you want a job that bad, go get a job. Stop sucking the people. And if we got people that's real leaders and they got programs that we need to invest in to help it grow, let's do that. But right now, we mad with the Hispanic people. Why? They opening up their own insurance company, their own laundromat, their own Western Union. They'll buy one house, stay in it, 10 families, pool their money, get a second house, one group move, another group move in with that group, and they'll keep that cycle going till all of them is getting up on their feet. Don't get mad at them people. They living like a family. I don't know what we of color living at. Right now, the bus pick up, just pull up, pick you up free. Take your butt to the plane to fly you to Africa. You ain't gonna do no good for Africa because you ain't getting no good here.
King Jesse.
Wherever you run into, you going with you. You the problem. Attack the problem. And it starts with us. And if you get that pencil and paper like I told y'all the other day, and you start writing, what have I done for my community? What have I done for the adjacent community, my county or parish, my state? When was the last time you've been to a meeting, school meeting, any type? If you don't get involved, you get left out. All I want y'all to understand is, it starts with you. You can read these books. We can get on here and go back and forth. It's not gonna change nothing. You got the ones at church. They go 7 days a week, some of them pray. But they ain't read the part in the Bible where you understand faith without works or dead. Meaning you ain't gonna get nothing. That's the same as I told y'all last night. Nothing from nothing, leave nothing. So we gotta start telling people, you gotta have something if you wanna be with me. We with people that don't have a heart, a mind. You got people cutting up to a dog's roll. Don't even know what a dog's roll is, where it come from, they didn't invest no time in it. Now you making yourself sound as ignorant as the person that's been taking advantage of you who don't know where they fit. The blind lead blind, both from ditch. You worrying about joining them, and they might need to be come and check you to see how strong the blood is coming from your side that they can connect with. But you'll fight your way into a prison, because that's what the reservation is, a prison camp. Now you done help these people create this fake narrative about African American that only started through Jesse Jackson in '88. And from what I understood from one of the professors, actually came out of Chicago being presented, I think he said in '61. How you gonna find your grandmother, an African American, if this just started happening in '61? Only your grandmother around my age, and I'm older than 60. I was born in '60. So where are you gonna find an African American grandmother? Someone asked me on this thing, where do I find my paper? I can't tell you because I don't know you. But I can tell you what you can do. Why don't you start with who you are? Who is your mother and father? 2 parts. Each one of those 2 parts have 2 parts. It's called genealogy. But a lot of times people went to churches that told them, we your family. So they teach you, and you have organizations to do that. Even the military says, we your family, we your mama. Okay? But if they your parent, that means they got your genealogy and they don't. But you'll fall for that. Go find the people that you have blood and flesh with. Walk your way back. Discover who you are. Go find your burial grounds. Go to record departments. You got some work to do. But don't think someone's gonna come do it for you, because they don't know you. And I'm not being mean. If I don't know your grandparents, I'm gonna tell you where you fit. But I can tell you ways that you can start digging and looking. And I can tell you what you don't need to do. Be on these internet paying people and putting y'all business on there on Ancestry.com. Because you're putting your business on Ancestry.com and they taking your business off Ancestry.com, giving it to your enemy. And they creating a false identity off of your information. You helping them create a database. I ain't giving my identity up. You give it up every time you put your junk on that internet. But when you sit down and put your own genealogy together, you're so desperate to fit. You done took that 23andMe. Now they have your DNA matching it with everybody. They couldn't have gotten your DNA if you wouldn't have voluntarily gave it to them like that. Nobody's running around with a shotgun saying, give me your blood. No, they create this atmosphere that makes you go volunteer and do it. Once you do it, it's in their hands and they can do whatever they want with it. That's one thing we need to fix. How can you leave the enemy over your grandparents? And I'm telling y'all, I don't want y'all to give me no money for no memberships to no tribe. Because that is not the way you be in a tribe. So I'm talking to you as a civil rights leader mainly. But I happen to be an Indian that can happen to tell you most of the people that done let them trick them to put African American. If you really would have dug down in your records, you might find out nobody came from Africa. I get people all the time saying, I've been doing my research, Chief. I can't find nobody from Africa. I told y'all, Tarzan Jane Boy, cheater. That's all I knew. So I don't have to go look in Africa for nothing. And some people going through saying they were slaves. Well, if you were slaves, have you found the records? I hear people say, well, I'm Choctaw from Mississippi. Well, you know, they didn't have no Mississippi one time but the river. So you came up out that hole of the river? Because there was no state of Mississippi. And y'all seen that we have records show that the head of the nation was in Bonfouca. We're heading there now. Where are we getting all of these tribes? Where are we getting all these head places? But we gotta find a lot out in the next 2 months. Next 2 months is gonna be dynamite. While I'm doing this, I'm asking Nidiua to come on to the stage. She's gonna give us some finalized talking for a minute. We ain't gonna never let her get away. See, it's different when it's not your blood. She gotta go and come. But she'll be back. But she enjoyed you all.
I did, it was fun.
And that's why I wanted her to come back tonight. So she can, I'ma shut up. Because we're gonna have LeTroy coming next.
You're gonna have to help me tonight because I don't know how to operate the maps on here.
But he do too. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if we're gonna get them up there. Because they'll get to it though. But LeTroy can get up here and get it going.
Just hold your phone up to the camera like you.
Oh, y'all know Amy wrong for this. She said, just hold your camera, your phone up to the camera like Chief. See, our leader gotta watch what they do. Because the people gonna follow the leader. Didn't I just say that? Okay. It worked for me. It worked for LeTroy last night. They saw stuff. So that means I'm not leading them wrong. But LeTroy be coming up. LeTroy coming last because Nidiua says, when me and LeTroy start talking.
He doesn't stop.
You heard that?
He's very entertaining.
Sometimes me and LeTroy be on the phone like hours and hours, and now they go to sleep on us. Okay? I'm not because we boring, LeTroy. That's because she just went to sleep. She can't hang. All right?
Different times.
But I'm going to bring you all, LeTroy.
And you know what, that's important too, right?
What's
When
that?
you bring people into your family, you have to make sure they fit.
Say that again.
When you bring people into your family, you have to be sure that they fit.
That's right.
Yeah,
Y'all got
yeah.
that? So she said, watch what you bring in your family. Because if it don't fit, we're not supposed to force it.
That causes
Trouble
trouble.
song, every song you sing.
Well, I'm sorry. Even say I'm singing up here. Well, that's the truth. Y'all know that's the truth.
It's old school music.
Now, I can't help y'all on that. We came from the time that music was our foundation.
Send out messages.
We could sing a message across. But anyway, Nidiua, she can't talk now long, but she have to be able to have her sleep and be well
And
rested.
I have not.
She's losing her voice.
Had a 16-hour flight.
That's right,
One of
so.
them. And
LeTroy is gonna be the backup man. He gonna come on in here with it because he studied some of this children's treatment. But not what I was talking about is how we done hurt ourselves in this country. Picking what politicians, and none of them ain't helping us. Democrat, Republican. And I want them to know we always supported, like I said, we supported who's gonna help the community.
Issues, not party.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all put that up there. You heard what she said?
Yeah.
Issues.
We supported David Vitter for a while.
Say it.
David Vitter.
I'm glad I supported David Vitter because let me tell you, David Vitter was the one who eventually went and got the funding that bought the park.
But it was the issues.
That's right.
But you'll
That
turn
saved
on them
it.
quickly too. As quickly as they turn, you'll turn.
Yeah. Y'all didn't hear. They don't know that. Say it again.
As quickly as they turn, you'll turn.
Yes, I will. In public too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not leading you down the road I won't go
It's
down.
on issues, not party, not person.
Issues. But the money, the millions of dollars that saved the park where the trading post is, we would not have it if it wasn't for Vitter, but even before Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Because Vitter was the one started with us, and Kevin then became the parish president, and the two of them took it to the next level with us. So that wouldn't even exist. So when we did that, every old name, carpetbagger descendant want to be over everything, but they wasn't there. But David Vitter worked, and he saw that something needed to be saved. And I'm going to bring the letter one day so y'all could see what he did immediately. He said, if y'all elect me, I'll make sure I save this historical place. We got him elected. No, it wasn't a trade-off. It was black and white. So I want y'all to know this. Jeannie was the one who got Vitter. I knew Kevin. She knew Vitter. So we was with Kevin later, but Vitter was the first person. And he says, this was in '99 when Bob Livingston, Penny's Bob Livingston, when they busted him in Washington and shamed him out, Vitter went in to finish out his term. And Vitter went straight in working. And I don't regret that today. And when Katrina hit, when I was asked to come to New York and Washington, Vitter was there again, hearing the needs of the community. And Vitter and Kevin Davis joined forces again. And we became the fastest recovering parish that was hit by Katrina. Okay? Let's say this, we was the fastest recovering on the coast, period. Good leadership. Sorry, Charlie, they both wasn't Democrat. I hear these people with their shows telling y'all, if you ain't a Democrat, and if you ain't this, and I heard the president say, if we didn't vote for him, something was wrong. Well, I got a message to go back. If you haven't done nothing for us, something's wrong. Problem is, you need to vote to get back in. And we got a choice to pick somebody else. This is the way we got to talk to leadership. Carolina, you really coming in, North Carolina. North Carolina still in the house. Send yourself some fire. Let me tell you something. Let's make them meet with us if they want our support. Amy, I'm not going to sing another song. But y'all know the song if y'all around my age that go with that. It's time for us to unite our numbers. Now, American Indian, you put a challenge on me. Now let's put a challenge on everybody. Let's everybody pick their numbers up on their page. When we pick up our numbers on our page, they give us a broader outreach. That's like passing flyers out, Nadia.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how far. Let me see how powerful you are. Show me your leadership. Let's start building each other pages together. Do you know if we get 100,000 people standing for healing, 100,000 people of color in America today? I'd have been on marches when we marched on Mike Foster. We had more than 100,000 people. I was part of the ones that organized it. We was using telephones and bullhorns and flyers. Spiver told y'all he came down here for it and went to jail many times. I called him. But you have the internet. Take that Facebook and stop posting blessed today. You know you ain't blessed, you crying. You can't even pay your light bill. You trying to speak it, you say, into existence. You know what you need to be speaking in existence to get that bill paid? Where's the jobs going to be coming to the city so we can get a job to make some money? Because as I'm walking through Walmart, I'm looking at computers and took some people's jobs, which means we're gonna have some hungry babies after a while.
Right.
We in the United States, and here they ran out of baby food, and we had to borrow food for babies from another country and milk. And we're gonna sit up here and bicker back for, is you African American, or you're Moor, or you Hebrew Israelite, or you Indian, or you black, or you Negro. Baby dying hungry. You think these politicians got your back? Man, we better get together. What brought our people through depression, and now they're sitting here, my mama told her that. And my grandpa and mama and them told me this. All my family said they didn't feel the depression.
They didn't suffer.
Because they own land, they was raising their own food. They said, we fed white people. White people wasn't on no food stamp welfare. God ain't making no more land. God is not making no more land. You better get you a little piece of this earth so you can plant you something to eat. Everybody gonna be getting skinny if they shut these stores down. Well, when they like crackheads. This is what they want to do to us. Get up and get to it. How many of y'all have a seed bank out there? Well, at least you can throw in the ground if you don't know how to plant it. Don't have a till and just throw it and hope some greens come up. If you ain't got nothing to plant, you broke. Now, I'm going to shut up for a minute because I'm talking about land. This is why I went to land. I don't y'all think I deviated. No. I want to show you what the white man came here and took from you.
Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a lot.
We ain't doing all that.
It's a lot. And these aren't even all of the maps that they have on display in Spain.
So we shouldn't even be worrying about
We
land.
have an entire exhibit. Our family
We need to
is
be,
the beginning
our
of the
family,
exhibit.
you know, we already planning. We just got to figure out how to get your daddy to go. But we already planning as a family. We going to Spain.
And
so
with
we figure out how we're going to
certainty-
get Percy there.
With certainty, I can say our family.
Yes,
It says Chahta. It does not say Choctaw on that wall. But I want to show
And it says
tonight,
Bonfouca.
and it says Bonfouca, and it says Tchefuncta.
Okay. The stuff that they said one time on the internet, I made that up after Katrina. And that didn't exist, and I made
No,
that
it
up.
exists. But just a little bit to show tonight because this is a lot. And
Well, I'm going to shut up.
I don't want to show too much because of also copyright infringement.
That's correct.
I
Y'all
want
got that?
you have to purchase these books.
That's
and I
right.
don't want us to
And
have
y'all
to
noticed I
give
said
them
it
money.
yesterday.
Right?
Purchase the books.
Yeah.
Okay? But this is what we want you to know. Land is value and wealth.
But what they did was when the cartographers, so the map makers, outlined the land and they went through and they assessed where the tribes were, they documented the tribes that they found. Just so happened it was Gillum, or we would pronounce
Go ahead and
it
say it
Gillum.
loud.
The cartographer was Gillum. And they documented where the tribes were. They sent their own cartographer out there. And when you look at the initial maps that came out, you'll see that it says Chahta. And always above Chahta was the Chickasaws.
Okay, that's
Always. And then you're going to see how they changed the name from Chahta to Choctaw. They kept changing it one letter at a time.
And we
that's how they
noticed,
erased
we
it.
also noticed most of that started happening with France. I had saw that in my research a long time back. A lot of changes happened when France came in.
This is a good time for you to cue your she has an example.
Aima is
just a few
our
examples.
stage director. Aima is telling us now.
I think I'm going to have to get you to show the maps on the screen.
So she's gonna show
So the
that, but I
first
want you
map-
to talk, and I'm gonna step out, and I'm gonna let LeTroy step up, cause he gonna be
Oh,
assistant.
you may not want to step out.
No, I mean step over that way.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He's going to show the maps on the screen.
All right, but I'm still gonna. Oh, I thought he was gonna show maps. No, okay, I
It's
can
going to
stay.
show right here
It's on
from
the
the,
phone.
it's the same maps that are in here.
Cause I was gonna just let him do this.
Because, no.
All right.
So some of these maps are the maps that you blew up.
Mm-hmm.
But some of these maps are in these books. There are tons of maps. There's one book that is just maps. But what you're going to see is on the wall in Spain, there are two maps in particular that list the Chahtas and Tchefuncta and Bonfouca. And this is one of them. And the spelling, you'll see, we've outlined it. 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 And the spelling, you'll see, we've outlined it That's one of the original maps. Can you see it?
Over here?
No, the screen. Right there. You have to go close.
Come closer,
Closer.
closer. Keep it coming. The camera is right there on the
The
side.
iPad. Right in front of you is an iPad.
There we go. Come on in. Come on in. Can y'all see it? Nope, it's not clear. Let it focus. Let it
And as you can
focus.
see on there, it says Florida. And if you see Oeste, that's west. So West Florida is spelled Oeste. So that's Chahta. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Look above that, go north, you'll see the Chickasaw up there. And below that, you'll see the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, bring the phone back. I'll go to the next now.
Can y'all see that? Let me see what
You
y'all
gotta
see.
kind of keep still. Then you'll see, and someone asked about Georgia. I'll get to that one next. Someone last night asked about Georgia. This is also West Florida, La Chata. This is in Louisiana.
Okay, let me answer this question right now.
Mm-hmm.
If your name is she one, whoever you is, I don't have an African side, neither does she. And you find me your African map where your land is with your name on it. And if you is in this room to start some mess, you're in the wrong room. You need to move over to Pan-African
Okay.
agenda. Okay, baby, this is Chief Warhorse you're playing with. So whoever got a range can just take that one right on out the room. Because we not here for
It's
that.
a little bit blurry.
Do y'all see that? SHA1. Send a 1, 2, 3 out. Because you ain't respecting what we are doing here.
Okay.
No, I do not have African blood. You mean to tell me you so good with DNA?
All of our ancestors.
You could tell us who we are? Go find out who you are. Because I don't even know who you are. But you can get out this room. You need to go to the Pan-African room. Thank you. We are here for people that want to learn. So you can exit. Okay, moving on.
So one of your followers asked about, was Georgia a part, was Choctaws a part of
Yes,
Georgia?
Georgia, some parts
So I
in
was just
Georgia.
about to say some parts, but we'll show you.
There was a 3-point area in Georgia where the Choctaw, the Creek, okay, and the Cherokee intermingled right there in that Georgia
It's
area.
a little blurry.
And Phoenix gotta go to that Powhatan thing we talked about. We'll do that on another show. So that person that wanna know about my African side, no, my other side is Cherokee. And their land was over there in Georgia and Tennessee and stuff. Can y'all see it?
So
There were no Mississippi.
I think that's the clearest it's gonna
Yeah,
get.
that's it.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
And notice on this version of Chahta, notice that they changed the H to a W, so they started changing it into what we see as Choctaw.
Okay, so now we're moving into the French era. Okay, guys?
It's still A, it's Chactaws. And right above it, I wish Troy could show it, but right above it is the Chickasaws, still the Chickasaws right there in South Carolina. Still Chahta and Chickasaw. There's the Chickasaws. That's the same map. Go up a little bit, Troy. And that's the Chahtas right below. You're gonna always see the Chickasaws above the Chahtas.
That's correct.
Remember the two
Brothers.
brothers who were the chiefs split. Okay?
Naturalists will fall in that area.
Mhm.
Someone's asking. Yes, naturalists will. I had one of my grandmothers who, when C.C. Claiborne and them moved the naturalist people down here, actually their village was in naturalist. And we actually have some land patents up around naturalist from that grandmother's side.
Now, what happens is that's right where the line split.
That's right.
So when you look at I'm gonna show them what Natchez looks like on here, on one of
Alright.
the older maps, and then you'll see the Spanish where they outlined it after the Louisiana Purchase.
There you go.
Okay, so this is a map, and you're gonna look at the spelling, you'll be able to notice Natchez. You might have to blow it up, Troy.
Come in a little.
Yeah.
Oh, that
You're
look
gonna have to
good.
blow it up a little bit. So Natchez, you just pull them out of the screen.
And you
Notice it says Choctaws now, and if he goes up, you'll see Chickasaw is still there. Wait, you just pull Natchez out of there. It wasn't spelled with a T, by the way. Natchez is not
And
spelled.
while you're
There it
there,
is.
can we show
Do you
something
see it,
else?
Naima?
Nadia?
Right
While
above
you're
the
there.
word west.
And if you notice
Right
the yellow
above the word
outline is still West Florida.
And the Natchez are right there on that line,
Do y'all see where West Florida is?
right by the Mississippi River. So when we said from Florida all the way to the Mississippi River,
We're talking from Pensacola to West Feliciana.
and if you're looking for Natchez, it's right above the word west.
Now, that is below the line of what they have
Mhm.
presented as being the head of the nation of Choctaw.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they done created something up there.
Mm-hmm.
But originally Spain had it where it was on the Gulf Coast.
Okay.
Are y'all with us?
And I think we have one more we could show. This is after the Louisiana Purchase, 1803. You'll see the map, and it'll show Florida Britannica.
Lafayette is not included in the West Florida era. Lafayette is where the Louisiana Purchase side takes place. We're gonna break this junk down. If it take us all year, we're gonna cover this Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia thing. Now, if you notice, they done put them way up
Mhm. It
where the
changes.
purple is, away from on the Gulf Coast.
Notice the Natchez line moved, and it's spelled differently. The same thing happened with tribes within Louisiana, like the Chittimachas are not where we
Come
see
in a
they
little
are
closer
today.
so they can see. Is this the one with the Chittimacha that I saw? Yeah, come in a little
Not
closer.
this one,
Not this one.
not this one. But notice where the Chickasaw is, and now notice where Choctaw is. Same place, it's been the same map, but look at how the line moved once the colonizers came in.
Now, a lot of you have did this research. Y'all know about the West Florida a little bit. What we didn't see was what the other countries said. So those who are coming in trying to find an African map, go to Africa. Jesse, you can't over there of the African American. You're on the wrong show.
You wait.
You gotta go to Jesse. Over here, we're talking about bringing back information for those of you who've been working hard and researching. And you can't find facts in the university because they done snowballed our so-called leaders till they done hid everything in archives. So what we're doing is confirming what you are finding, okay?
You have to be critical when you look.
Yes.
Look critically. Look for different spellings because you have to remember different groups of people came in. It wasn't like formal education.
So
back
far,
then.
I don't care what way they spell it, I can find
Right, you can find
it. And
it.
that's what you want to be.
They were going off of sound.
Yes.
There was
Now you gotta remember, you got the German sound, the
Mhm.
Irish sound, the Dutch sound, the Portuguese sound. You got all these sounds. We still don't talk and sound. You know, some of the people that say, we come out the hole. That's some of the people that took your land. Now they the Indian. We was talking about Yazoo today. Things I wish you come on in. Because same thing Nadia is talking about with Natchez, this is the same thing that we were talking about with Yazoo. We're gonna do a whole thing on that Yazoo thing too.
She in the chat, regulating the chat. She's paying attention.
Well, I let her pay attention to keeping somebody called it the devil. Keep the devil out of our business things. We'll get back to him with that. But one thing for sure, when y'all see the devil come in, kick him out. He's not welcome here. We don't have a welcome mat for the devil. We about taking care of serious business. Okay, here we go. What we're doing here is getting you to understand what you're getting in this kitchen, off this table. We didn't check it out. I knew it all my life. But even though you know something, it is so wonderful to go check it out, isn't it?
It's a big difference.
And we want you to do that same thing. We're going to have a history class that you didn't get in elementary to college. I go around here to the college. I go a lot of places around the country to college, giving a history lesson that you won't get because your professors got to call me to come give it to them because they don't know. I'm going to have some professors come and sit in that chair over there, Saturday up. I'm going to show you. And they'll tell you the little bit they learned. They got it from Chief Warhorse too because they would come down to Bonfouca. We were sharing knowledge because we're sharing knowledge. We all grow.
But you know what I don't understand? I'm glad you said that. What's bothering me, because I don't get on these chats at all, but what's bothering me is that there are so many people trying to worry about what we're doing, and we're just trying to prove who we really are. This is our heart, our people. Why are you trying to destroy us? We're not destroying you.
That's what they've been. We don't even
like,
know them. They're going to come on with a name called Chahta.
Why is your
Chahta?
mission to destroy us? When if you are who you say you are, we could all work together and win the fight. But if we're all fighting each other, then they don't have to. The colonizers don't have to worry about us because we'll take care of each other.
Yeah,
and
that's what we
sad.
said right before
That's
we came
so
in.
sad. And
what if we the ones? They don't know where they come from.
And just
what if we have to feed them again?
But not only that, just for the person, and I'm not one of these, I'm not aggressive with other people, but stay focused, because even if some of us have African blood in us eventually because of colonization, that does not take away your heritage of who you are initially. That does not take it away. And even the laws that help you to classify as a federally recognized tribe say that blood does not matter. As long as we can prove our lineage, our family has owned this land. There's no one who's owned our family land before us. So we don't have to sit here and prove to you who we are. We don't have to prove it to anyone because we're going to be who we are no matter what. The point is, we're trying to get everyone involved who have been marginalized, ostracized, pushed out, not getting their just due. We're trying to make everything right for them. It's so sad that we can allow white politicians with blonde hair and blue eyes to claim Cherokee, and no one says anything. No one is in a chat blowing it up. No one is talking about it in the media. But as soon as a person with a darker hue say anything about being native to America, there's an issue. But you might want to take a look at all of the indigenous people around the world. All of the indigenous people around the world, I hate to tell you if you don't like it, are dark-hued people. Go into Australia and look at the Aborigines. Go and look at the Mongolians who turned into your Chinese. They were dark-skinned people.
Thank you. All right, you're going to find out now. Hey, didn't I tell y'all it was in there?
I'm just reading the chat and it's starting to get to me because
Mr.
even
Perry,
if we have African blood, that's not this fight right now. Right now we're trying to right wrongs. Colonizers did us wrong. They infiltrated not just us. Nobody's down there in Mexico saying you're not Native American. They infiltrated them. Okay, no one is in the island saying you're not Native American. They infiltrated them. That's why they speak Spanish. They didn't speak Spanish in those countries. They spoke their tribal language. So we have to stop doing that. Stop destroying each other and let's fight the real enemy, the colonizers. I'm sorry.
Hey, I said it too. And
I'm sorry.
all right, y'all. Remember, apples don't fall very far from the tree. They just wrong.
Yes.
All right, and that's a message for any of those crooks that think you're coming when I close these eyes. You ain't seen the grandbabies yet, have they?
No.
Y'all still trying to catch up with Gavin and he 5. You just have to call me in there and just now for something. Not bad, they're not bad. They just state their mind. We didn't take our kids and didn't let them express themselves. And they not sassy, but baby, they sharp. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
She trying to tell you she was tired of this the other night. We done been through this for too long. This is what we saying. And it's messy people like that that keep jumping in.
Mm-hmm. So that's enough energy
Trying to
on
stir
that.
a pot.
That's like, I'm like them. There's enough energy on that.
Okay? I when I was mentioning other people's names, and I want to clarify this. I have a right to mention any one name that posts my picture on their page. Okay? It was my voice, my image. And you know, they didn't even have the decency to ask. They didn't have the decency to say, what could we contribute back from using your name? Tell me something we can contribute to based from using your image. And I most probably would say contribute to the prison or something in your area. But no, cut and paste. You know, I was saying this morning to Cousin Will, and I have other musician on there, especially the blues man. That's what I'm gonna call you on it right now. Blues man, you know who you are. And he not hiding his name, it's on the thing. He just made a donation and I thanked him for it. But let me explain this to you. During the hip hop era, I want to show y'all something. They were scratching, and playing somebody else's music. And play somebody else's music. And they call that, they put that music together. No, you didn't. You had somebody else's music. James Brown or somebody. And all you had was scrickety. Okay? Now on the internet, you're grabbing people's stuff. Scrickety. That's what got you in the mess you in. Taking shortcuts. You don't even know how to play an instrument, some of them. Because like I told you, they took that shortcut. Stop taking shortcuts. Don't let these people force you from learning. Now, if you have money to go to Spain, or if you have to save money, what Nadia is telling you, look, I done went already and run recon. It's there, I've seen it. Your trip won't be a waste. Save your money, go see for yourself. We ain't running no con game here. Nadia could went to Spain, got this stuff, like we always getting stuff, and we never share it with no one. Okay? If y'all think me and Nadia telling the truth, send me some file because I want to see it over here. I can't reread. That person on their name Calloway. Say I love you. You kin to Dan Calloway? If you is, tell Dan Calloway get in touch with me. Okay? Because I have people thinking Dan know me better than I know me. Tell him call me. Oh, there we go.
They want to get back to the maps.
We going back to maps. But y'all got to understand, I understand you want to go back to maps, but y'all got to understand I've been down this road. We dumping you information. What you dumping back? Have you hit the like button? Come on now. Have you hit the like button? Phoenix, is the like buttons matching up with 169 in the room? Okay, well, I'm going to start doing like y'all. Y'all asking. So I'm asking you kindly, can you nicely stop and hit like? Because we don't have to show nothing. See, y'all thought you knew Chief Warhorse because y'all had me with it and speaking on stage. It's the Chief Warhorse that the numbers told y'all they don't like. I'm glad they don't. Some of y'all might not either. But get out my space. Those of you who want to be in a space with me, y'all understand me and I understand you. We're not here to manipulate nobody.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to. We know who we are. But you're asking questions. We got 170 some people in the room. 174 people, so we should have 174 likes. I'm learning from Phoenix, y'all. Oh, she a good school teacher. I think she told me something like, the room should match the likes. Why would y'all keep asking us something and you were not nice enough to pick your finger up and hit like, subscribe? Thousands of people have been watching what we've been doing. One video did 20-some thousand, but we ain't have 20-some thousand likes. Come on now. This is Chief. I didn't tell you I was dumb. I told you I'm trying to learn how to hook this junk up to get you the best quality.
So like starting the match, just getting up there.
I even say it's starting the match. Come on now.
We about 30 off.
When y'all get that 30, y'all better tell the ones in the room ain't hit light. Ain't get nothing till they hit light.
Yes,
Honey.
Thank you for the sticker from I ain't found the name. Who's
The
it?
Connie.
Who?
The Connie.
Dakani? Thank you. All right, Amy, did it get there? Somebody left. We down to 73. Somebody didn't want to hit light.
Oh, that was Shaw, whatever her name
Shot one might have left. That's good.
Let's continue.
Now let's continue. It's matched up, Amy and Ray.
It's close enough.
She said it's close
They
enough.
about 30, 20 difference. We'll take it. Go ahead.
Amy say y'all 20 short. I'm gonna let Nadi go ahead on a little further. But y'all been going over there to the other people eating slop and lives and hitting likes and subscribe. Don't come over here and get nothing and go try to reserve it somewhere else. All right? Because if I catch my junk out there, this time I'm getting it pulled down one way or other. Lawyer or YouTube, you're not dishing up off me no more. If you are not being, like we agreed on this today, Phoenix, and we got to let them know. If you ain't over here working in this network, you ain't got no business getting a gold bag or Tupperware or nothing. Go on over there and cook with them people that use eggplants and sweet potato in the gumbo. You don't deserve good Louisiana cooking.
Tell Phoenix thank you because she posted the link to the CPRN website.
Thank you, Phoenix, for posting the CPRN website. And we'll talk about that on another day. Amy say let Nadi go again. Nadi, there you go. Your numbers is 168. Go ahead.
I just wanted to just come back on and reiterate that we have to be critical when we look at the paperwork and go through it, because things, slight changes, slight line being moved will change and make the world of difference. And just because they say you're something doesn't mean that that's what you are.
And
You
you know
just
what's
have to
funny?
keep saying it over and over, be intentional, be almost aggressive about it.
So we should be mindful of our censors
Mm-hmm,
and reapportionment.
mm-hmm. We have to
Reapportionment
change the
moves.
narrative.
Reapportionment move lines.
Mm-hmm.
And the censor keep reclassifying people with a new name.
And we just settle sometimes. Some of us just settle when we feel like, oh, they're not gonna believe
Or it's
me.
nothing we can
So
do.
let me, yeah. And it's
But if
just
we
one
unite our
person.
numbers, we can do it a lot.
Right.
And so, y'all know what? I hear people talking about the Bible and everything. Now, some of y'all might leave when I'm talking about that, but I'm going there. Yes, I am, full speed. Everybody know about the name Jesus. He only had 12 disciples that was on the regular with him, but he had 144 traveling with him.
Wow.
And they represented 12 tribes. And here we are 2,000 and some years later, still talking about it. So I used to, and now you know this what I mean. Give me 12 warm bodies, and I'll make a change. So if anybody thinking they got block us, they crazy. I know what to do with the number 12. I go out there by myself and make changes sometime. Come on now. So census are important that they told y'all not to fill out. There's a whole movement on the internet. Don't do your census. When you didn't do your census, you messed up the money that could come back in your community to do education, street improvements, and everything else. But my kids came up working census. We know the importance. That go along with voting. I didn't say voting Democrat or Republican. Find a candidate. I told them we got a couple of people running in this parish right now. If they got a mangy dog running backwards, I'm going with that. Before I take a Democrat or a Republican out of here that's not representing the community. All the jobs leaving. Developers done took over. Politicians better wake up. They got to talk to us. I promise you that.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know me when I want to put a PA, I might do it again, put a PA system in my car and I'll ride around street by street. And they got GPS now. That make it even better. Come on, y'all. It's your community.
Stop letting people define you.
And you're worrying about joining with a tribe in Oklahoma when you need to be finding where did you fit in history in the land. God not making no more land. I'm going to say it again. And the price that they selling it for is too high for some people to get. So we got to learn to get along because we might have to pull together some people to buy a piece of land so you can have a place to plant you something to eat. Have y'all been looking at the stores lately? They look slacker and slacker. We've been talking to the people that drive trucks. They say the food coming in California What they told us, well, what about the food
Those
trucks?
containers out there, you know, food coming in. There used to be up to 100 ships in the port at any given moment. It's only about 5 or 6.
5 or 6 ships got to feed whole America.
Mhm.
Go to Mississippi out in Bay St. Louis and all that area. Ships ain't like they used to be out there. We'll call them that day, say, Chief, you know what they brought in?
Mhm.
Some bananas.
Bananas, that's all they got.
And what's happening, a lot of stores is closing, they tricking you guys. Stores are closing in other places. The goods is being shipped to other stores. You thinking you getting some stuff coming in, that's just from a store that been shut down. And then we got nuts wanna come in here and pick with us. Like Nadi say, we trying to keep us together. And we trying to share with you all because people ask me to come share what we are doing. We gonna make it. But y'all know they got people that don't have seed, don't know how to plant a seed. Things just put the CPRN program out. You need to go check that out too.
I might be starting a little something when I say this,
Sing the song.
but Troy and I talk a lot. I know when he gets up, he's probably gonna say it too. But if we belong to those people in Africa,
Mhm. Why they ain't come
why
check
they
on
never
us?
came and got us if we
No.
belong to them?
Yeah, we
They
belong
had
to people.
ships,
I ask y'all, not only that.
and when they found out where we were, if we
Uh-huh.
belonged to them,
Uh-huh.
why didn't they come and get us? I'm just saying. And now they know we're here, why they don't claim us?
No. They came got $55 billion.
Mm.
That's what Biden gave them.
Mm-hmm.
That was the money that everybody, what's his name? Claude Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Claude Anderson. Jesse Jackson. Them
Mhm.
suckers got together with something over there in Africa. And the United States now paying Africa billions of dollars in the realms of checks, 55 billion. But you couldn't take that 55 billion and put it back on the people in these communities that worked for that 55 billion.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing, that could be hush money, because they don't. They
Something
don't-
went on,
Yeah,
dog.
'cause
Come
you
on
gonna
now.
go get your people.
Come on now.
If you know where your people are, you're gonna go and get them.
Don't I go places looking for my people?
So apparently we're not for them.
No, we not.
Mm,
And then
they
I
never
want to know
came
this
out.
one too. I asked this the other night, nobody have announced me yet.
And we giving so much pride to a group of people who don't want us.
I want to know this. Where is the land in their motherland?
You can't go there and lay claim to anything.
Well, that's their motherland. Isn't land property something that you can grow food on?
Hmm.
In your motherland, you ain't got nothing, and that's where you going. You sound like you've been adopted or something.
See some of the celebrities going over there visiting, saying they.
If y'all think what me and Nadia
Right.
is saying is what y'all are
Think
feeling,
critically. Think critically.
send us something to let us know y'all in agreement.
If someone takes your child and you didn't have the means to get them when they first took them, as soon as you find out where your child is,
I'm gonna get my child.
you're gonna do whatever it takes to get there and get your child. They never came and got us. Ask yourself why. Because we don't belong to them. Why is it easy to sell us off? Because we didn't belong to them. Okay, so it doesn't make sense. It's not adding up. It's not adding up. So think critically.
We've had a lot of celebrities go overseas looking for their family.
That's
You know
what
what they did? They sent them right back.
Deadbeat
Their families
daddies.
over there.
And they'll have you taking these DNA
I'm
tests
with
to
you.
prove
Well,
where you're from
Indian-
in Africa.
I'm
We
with
don't
you.
believe, you don't have to
And we
believe
need
that.
to be suing somebody then for deadbeat parenthood on one show or the other. Cause ain't now one taking care.
And let me put this on your
I
mind.
figure Africa is the mama. Is what they trying to say is the motherland.
Mhm.
And America is the father.
But
They've been neglected by both.
wait a
And
minute.
then they're gonna attack us.
What they fail to realize is the transatlantic slave trade
Mhm.
was a triangle.
Come on now.
Okay? Not only did they bring slaves here,
Mm.
but they took
Slaves.
some of our people from here and
Out.
brought them over there.
Say it loud.
So-
In the back.
And not just a few people, not just a few. They brought them into Africa, they brought them into Spain, they brought them into England. So they played switcheroo. So now when you take these DNA tests and they tell you, oh, you have the
It's like
same
in West
bloodline as
Africa.
the people over here in West Africa, well, you might, because they took some of our people over
And we
there.
have proof of that.
Yeah.
And you know, the other part, not to deviate from what you're saying, stay right where you're at. Not only was they taking them over there, they also was taking people from other islands, bringing them this way. Not
This
even
way.
Africa.
It was a triangle. They kept it
They-
moving.
I told y'all it's like that little cup. You move it around, you gotta keep your eye on the ball. Some of y'all done lost the ball, okay? Now I'm gonna tell you, you need to cheat. It's a glass table. Go in there and see where that ball is before you attack. Cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Because they cheated you. You need to find out which one of them cups you in. But listen at this. What Nidiua is telling you is factual. That's why I told y'all I went to the African Summit yesterday. I went to the African Summit so I could address the first slave trade left here, went there.
And they built special
Now where
villages for
is
the
my
natives.
people that was taken from here? And just for the first time, I'm gonna say this, so whoever that African person is, we need our $55 billion like Africa, because you took some of my people and took them over there. Where's our $55 billion check?
Yes, yes.
Shy one, go find my check.
Find yours too.
They owe my nation based on these maps. They destroyed us. They ain't destroy Africa. They destroyed us. They move us everywhere. They owe us more than 55 billion, but we ain't asking for that. So you go check on that stuff. Don't come on this page. I done told y'all, don't play with me. I kick butt and take name later.
And they were kidnappers. Someone said kidnappers. They were. In fact, when
It was
Christopher
human
Columbus
trafficking.
went back,
Human trafficking.
they held him accountable in his own country because he was kidnapping natives from here, bringing them over there.
Let's use the criminal word. Let's use the criminal word.
It was a
Human trafficking.
human trafficking.
But
Yes,
now
it
it's
was.
like, oh, human trafficking. I love when these white women are like, oh, it's so sad they're trying to get us to be stupid to vote their husbands in them in office. I'm so hurt by the human trafficking. Andrew Jackson, George Washington, Clay, all them slave people that they had, that was human trafficking. They haven't paid for the human trafficking. America was built off human trafficking. Africa figured since you were dumb enough to build over there and they kick you in the butt and you still leave them, send them on over here so they can work over here for about 500 years and make Africa rich.
And we keep giving pride to people who are not
And
coming
they
to
do
our
not
aid.
like
They
us.
do not come. I'm
They
not
said they
saying
need their child support.
they do not come to our aid. If they are
That
for
means you don't
us,
like them.
if they are us,
They'll put pressure on something.
exactly, and nothing is
They
happening.
over there now helping with Russia and everything else. Hey, I'm a controversial person.
Ukraine.
Troy always
They're
says,
all with this stuff.
all
Have you
skin
heard
folk,
them address your
skin
issue
folk.
in Africa?
just
But
because
they
they,
somewhere else.
yeah, all skin folk ain't your kin folk. Just
Come on
because
now.
they share the same skin tone.
And you
does not
gotta
mean
watch
that's where
some of
we
your
come
kin
from.
folks and skin folks.
Yeah.
Cain and Abel was two brothers. Chahta and
People's
Tchefuncta
actions
was two
speak
brothers.
louder than words. If they wanted us bad enough, if they felt that we were being mistreated and we belonged to them, they would be a part of the fight for us now. Someone in the chat said, send at least a representative, a delegate, if we belong to them. No one has said anything or spoke out about anything in regards to slavery from the continent of Africa, to my knowledge, on our behalf.
No.
And they had apartheid as well. Don't get me wrong. They had apartheid as well, but what goes around comes around.
But
I'm
you
not saying
started-
it was
You was
okay.
in trade with it. At one time.
Exactly.
And this is what I'm saying. How many of y'all would spend y'all money or whatever you did to see Warrior Woman? All you was looking at was the people that was catching the slave to sell the slaves to the Europeans to make money. But just so they put black faces on there, you call that a good picture. Come on now, we need to stop letting it. And that thing was doing just what Roots did, another way to brainwash you. One movie at a time.
And that's how we get rid of that Eurocentric narrative of what it
And I want
takes
y'all
to
to
be
know
Native
something.
American.
The way we sitting here talking, my
This is
son
how
love
we
me
talk
coming.
all the time.
This is the way we talk. Y'all come to our house, you come in. Noreen, I ain't never done you this. Come a little closer. Noreen come out the Catholic church. They counting bees and waiting for a blessing. And then the same people that didn't give them freedom.
Yeah.
Noreen gonna come on the camera so y'all can see her. You don't have to move. She was gonna come. You come right here. Come right here. I want them to see you because I don't want them to think you're lying.
Yes.
Well, you know, somebody from Africa. Y'all see Noreen complexion? This here look like what America would say. She'll be a darker color in it. They might accept her somewhere to, you know.
Tell them how your grandpa was your
Noreen,
professor.
come forward and tell them who you are. Just come. I want the camera to see you. Mr. Waldo, I know you're dying later.
I know he is.
Come on.
Someone said, look like someone said Garvey. I'm trying to see who they
Okay,
said.
I'm trying to.
I want to do this better. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Sit down, Shaq. Tell them who you is. Since they're going by color, skin, and hair.
Right.
Oh, she has that water here too?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, now that don't mean that, cause let's see where she come from.
Who your person?
Tell them your history right quick.
On my maternal side, I am Sicilian.
How many generations?
Ooh.
In America.
In America,
Yeah, how many generations?
4 generations in America. And we come with and through the Catholic Church on my mom's side. On my dad's side, we Chickasaw and French. On my grandfather's side, we are Chahta, Jamaican Indian, from here. And that mixture is a mess and a half. Anybody who knows. Catholic Church is a mess and a half. And I'm telling you
Do me
today.
a favor. Phoenix, you like genealogy.
Right.
Where Jackson Square is
Oh, my
in
goodness.
New Orleans.
Yes, I didn't know if you wanted me to go that far.
Oh, I'm gonna lead you.
Right.
Cause I wanna tell all her business and have to fight nobody. Y'all know
Right.
where I'm at. Where Jackson Square
Square
is.
is, if you
What is that to you?
Place Dumas, which
Who is Place Dumas?
one of the grandfathers on my family lineage. And they came here as a prostitution house. And a lot of people don't
No,
know
say it the
the
way they
history.
say it. Brothel.
Brothel. But it's prostitution no matter how you
Okay,
call it.
go ahead.
Okay.
Human
So for a lot of my family members who may be seeing this and who don't want people to know or hear this, tell the truth, shame the devil, and let's get past these iniquities of
It's
our
in,
ancestors.
it's in the paperwork,
It's
right?
in the truth is there. And the
Records.
sooner we recognize these iniquities and move to God for forgiveness of their iniquities and our sins. Because I've been around a long time and I've been in our communities for a long time. So they know you're trying to hide stuff that we know we need to correct. And that's why I've been with Chief, and thank God her family, she and her family has allowed me to be this close for the best education
Are we
I've ever
talking any
had.
difference in here than we talk
And
about?
Chief, her family talks like this all the time, all the time. This is regular conversation in their household. And
That's
I
Christmas,
appreciate
that's
that.
all them holidays.
That's every holiday. They don't waste their money on none of this pagan stuff. I love that. Because I was one who the holidays was my favorite stuff to do till I learned the truth about it. And learned the truth about how all you're doing is recognizing the devil and his movement. We have got to learn the truth as a people.
Another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Have not this tribe been standing up against the Catholic Church for y'all Catholics that we help y'all better than they did, but do I as a leader? I want people to understand this when I tell you what a leader's supposed to do.
Yep.
Do I not?
Yeah.
I don't want to be on camera right now. I want her to talk.
And what Chief is saying is, because I left the Catholic Church once I found out the truth about how we were treated and tricked into going against. If you truly read what we are taught in the Catholic Church and read the Bible for yourself, we are doing so many things in the Catholic Church that is against what the Bible is. And I told Chief I wasn't going back to the Catholic Church. And the first thing she told me was, oh, yes, you are. You can't run from who you are. And if you don't go back and help people learn what you've learned, then
I'm
you're
wasting my
not,
time with you.
right, you're not going to be helping anyone. And I'm wasting my time teaching you, and you're not teaching anybody else.
Okay, I'm gonna move on now.
Mhm.
I don't mind
Yep.
standing up helping, but you learn to share the knowledge.
Right. And that's
Not
an
be
important
selfish.
key. An important key.
And Noreen history, I have a lot of reason not to be with the Creole Indians.
Yep.
The Jada Creole Indian like Tommy, she do have that Indian part in there.
Mhm.
But Noreen family is Black European.
Right.
Did you see the color of the Black European just said here?
Mhm.
And I'm not degrading her. That is her
Who you
genealogy.
are,
She's
right.
done it too.
Yeah.
So let's stop with this color and hair thing,
Mhm.
Right.
and let's get down to the actual fact.
Well, when I have a student in my class who's blonde haired, blue eyed from South Africa, and his dad is an American passport, he's African American.
And what color is his hair?
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
What color is his
He's
skin?
African American.
His skin fair?
He looks Caucasian.
Okay. I've been through that. What's going on?
He's African American. So if he's African American,
Well, what black mean African American?
why am I checking African American?
Are y'all with us in here?
No.
Now, we can go on and on and on and on, but we're not. And let me tell y'all something. These maps is not going anywhere. We're gonna have many more shows. We don't wanna violate these people's copyrights. I told y'all, let's move it around. We'll move it around and you can see it. LeTroy be glad to come with his interpreting stuff. He moving on up on y'all. Like, we're gonna let Nidiua go because, you know, LeTroy, you know,
The entertainer.
he didn't have, me and him didn't have a t-shirt today with the rest of the family. And we was like, see, I'm telling y'all, we get jealous. We were like, well, t-shirt. LeTroy said, I guess I just came in the family. Well, I did too, because I didn't have a t-shirt. We have fun with those things. We're gonna have a t-shirt next time, LeTroy. Now, what I'm saying is, I can't let Nidiua, because she's my daughter, get 2 nights. LeTroy be saying, I was supposed to have my night and not took it.
No, y'all on the road, Chief.
He said, we on the road.
Yeah.
Because I want y'all to
No,
know.
he reads a whole lot.
Let me tell y'all about LeTroy. You know she woke up with,
Yeah.
Amy talking about our shift get. Did y'all see a shift get?
He reads a lot.
Did you see her, Mr. Waldo?
Be interesting.
She put the pedal to the, y'all, that wasn't even
She
it.
sounded that hard.
She said she sounded that hard.
Yeah, Waldo, she flipped that nitro switch.
Oh, Mr. Waldo, we'll say she flipped that nitro switch.
Okay, so.
All right.
Switch it up on
So
you.
we're gonna let LeTroy come on and not leaving you out.
I'll
And
still be here.
let me tell y'all something. She gonna be here for a few more days. We might can squeeze something, you know.
But you're not.
But I promised y'all I was coming back on tonight, and I did. This was just a special treat. A special treat for us as well as for you. This is LeTroy, my son-in-law. You see, you got in this seat quick. That's right, y'all. We better be getting them samples ready.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him the opportunity. I gave Nidiua. He been my son-in-law. How long, LeTroy?
19 and a half years.
Y'all got that? 19 and a half years. He's still with us too. All right? Some people don't keep their son-in-law for 6 months. We were gonna get it right in this family to beat each other up, one another, and this ship got to sail together. And that's what y'all gotta do out there. LeTroy came into a family that did things different from what he had seen. I'm not gonna try to tell his story, but I only have one son-in-law. So let me see what the son-in-law say. Let's see what he said, how he saw us, or what he see us. Because you need to know him too. Because I want leaders to start showing us their people and their family. You understand the draw? We probably people who don't even know who their spouse is.
Right.
Might be Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Y'all know Kanye West wanted to run with Mickey Mouse. We don't know. Sure, there's crazy people out there. But I want you to see my people. And I'm gonna let my son-in-law talk, and he has his phone, so if y'all wanna ask him questions, he answer.
Absolutely.
That's up his alley. So I'm introducing to you my son-in-law.
You're not young.
LeTroy even say he is not young. He do know about Curtis Mayfield, The Temptation, Bobby Womack. He said I went way back. He's there. He's just not my age. Okay.
So what between Jerry Curls and Afro?
He say he fall between Jerry Curls, y'all, and an afro. Okay? He's in that little rap era. And that sticky. He come out of that. So, here we go. LeTroy, I'm turning the mic over to you. And see, I don't have to turn the music on for this break, and I already know this story, but I'll let y'all have fun so y'all don't think, oh, if his mother-in-law sitting there, he'll say it. Okay? And if you want to ask a question, ask. But then, see, did he meet us as African Americans? Make sure y'all get in the answer that. And he knew my mama. He knew my aunties and my uncles. Some had passed when he came along, but he met a whole lot of them within that 19 years. I bet you what, he wouldn't mess with TT, Uncle Rock, or nobody in his family. Because we didn't mess with him. Okay? You get warned in this family, don't mess with Uncle Rock. This is what you do. And then my mom, it was like, now she a nice lady, she'll feed you everything, but So I'm gonna turn the mic over to my son-in-law. He gotta tell you about himself a little bit, cause don't y'all let people be coming around in the kitchen eating with you and you don't know who they are. Then he can go to his excitement. Okay, LeTroy? In the family 19 years.
Right.
If you have to do it all over again, you think you'll do it all over again?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Would you like to tell them about your experience of, we're a weird family, y'all. Ooh, yeah. But LeTroy came in. I've been in technology. I was in technology before LeTroy came along.
Yeah.
So he know I'm telling y'all about computers and stuff. I was bragging to him things. I'm like, hey, check out where I'm at now, son-in-law. Listen.
Yeah, and for the chat, he wanted to answer certain questions as well because of his career.
Okay, and because of his career,
Right.
because I want y'all to know, we ain't food stamp people. Like
Right.
Nadi told them at that place when them people was acting up with us down there, them racist.
Right.
We ain't come here begging for no food stamp. They go to work. All my people work. Will work, Mike work, everybody work. Okay? But he also worked for the government. Oh. I'm going to say it like that.
A government, we don't know which one.
I said a government. He not going to tell you where he worked. Okay? Because that's his personal business. And the internet people is cruel. Okay?
The world is cruel.
Huh?
The world is cruel.
The world is cruel. But on the internet, man, they be slinging and slamming. You hear me? For no reason at all.
Right.
But we got good people on here.
Right.
But every now and then when the devils get in on stuff. So that's who we gotta keep our business
Yeah,
from.
that's job.
But here we go. I'm turning it loose with you. And he also gotta go back to Saudi Arabia, so he gotta also on side what he wanna say as a man. And I'm gonna leave that alone.
Do you know that person in the chat?
No.
Somebody having fun in here?
They
Right.
want to
It's,
feel it. You
it's
have a
LeTroy.
fan?
Okay. He say, LeTroy.
LeTroy.
I'm gonna let him speak, but this is my show. He's my son-in-law. Come on, man.
Right.
Okay, just joking with you. No, I'm telling you this because last night somebody was asking Nadi some stuff, and I don't want us to get into that tonight. I'm being honest with you, my brother. Okay? Give a little respect on that. And if he tell you he can't answer that because of a reason, I want you to back off. If you don't, I'm coming back up. All right, LeTroy, I'm gonna do you like this. Let me tell you what I can do with him. LeTroy, I can just say talk. Yeah.
Okay. So I grew up in New Orleans, uptown, downtown. My mother moved us around. Every time an area got a little bad, so I grew up in New Orleans. I graduated from Nichols High School. My parents are from Downsonville, Louisiana. My mother's side, her father is a Blackfoot, and my grandmother, my mother's mother, is Chahta that I found through you. And
That was surprising.
that was surprising.
Yeah. That was after the wedding, y'all.
Way after the wedding. So I met Nadi Suno in political science class, debating. I too wanted to go to law school. And until I met you, you introduced me to computers, and something inside of me wanted to gravitate, learn more. So I made the transition to computer security, got my bachelor's in computer security, got my master's in project management IT, another master's in cybersecurity, and 8 credits towards a PhD.
Wow.
So I've been doing IT.
So I'm gonna stop you there, because sometimes people are like, I don't know what I want to do. Really, sometimes you need to go around and see some different things.
Right.
Cause it sounds like you just got a click came on.
Click
Okay.
just
Y'all see that? Come on,
came
share
on.
that.
Yeah. So I work for the government as a security analyst, forensic specialist. I've been doing that for about 15 years. I love it. Meet Chief. I didn't really know anything about Native Americans besides what the school taught us, but like everyone else, public school system didn't teach us too much of anything. And staying up to 3, 4 in the morning, just learning, taking all that information in, bringing it back to my mother, my father, my aunts and uncles, asking them questions, just educating them as well, passing that information on, and it was just exciting, and to be able to travel to the different places that my wife had the privilege to bring me along. Spain, Egypt, Greece, Thailand, Dubai, Saudi.
You done just been everywhere.
Amman, Jordan.
I just said, don't leave out Jordan.
Right, Amman, Jordan. We actually went to the site where the Messiah was baptized by John the Baptist. That was a spiritual transformation. I couldn't stop crying.
I remember you and Nadi called me saying, y'all wish y'all could pick all the Christians up.
All the Christians up.
Bring them over there.
Right.
So they can see the truth.
Right. So
away from the lies that have been told to them here.
Right. So we baptized ourselves in the Jordan River. It's just something inside wanted me to do it. So we both did it. And I can tell you one thing, the devil has been busy ever since. He's been attacking us every which way he can, but like I said, no weapon formed against us to prosper.
It's not gonna prosper, man.
So I don't allow that to get to me. I just, lean on the Most High God, not the God that
But they try to portray to us
here.
We gotta give him some money through an entity for him to heal us.
Right.
We don't believe that.
Right. And that's their thing,
That's their world.
That's their world, their followers, whatever.
Just stay out of ours.
Stay out of ours. I'm not trying to convert anyone or anything. I just, like to be myself and enjoy the family.
All right, so there y'all go. We're not here to convert anyone into being a Christian, not being a Christian, join a tribe, not join a tribe. They may have sites out there, and we know they are there. That's not what we're here for. We're here because as children of God and believing in God and has a connection to this earth and this land on this continent, we have a right to see why the liars lied. Okay? Now, if you're not doing that, you ain't taking care of God's business nor yours. So I'm going to go to this part. LeTroy been around with us. He gave you a quick reference on him. You got his background. We giving people what nobody have given us. We giving you our reference. Now, for somebody to come and challenge us, lay your stuff on the table. And right now, I don't care if it's the church. I don't care who it is. You got to get beyond 1493. Go back. And I don't think you can because you were there on what Spain called the beginning.
Right.
Now, he was the one that did these yellow tabs. So y'all was hollering for maps from Nidiua and some of the stuff. That's why I told you hit the light. See, y'all didn't realize it wasn't gonna be Nidiua. I did like they say Jesus did. I saved the best for last. Cause Nidiua was catching naps on me and you. We was on the telephone.
Right.
Nidiua was over there. She knew she could read it. We had to, I ain't mad for them.
Right.
We had to work with
We
it.
have to work with it.
If we worked with it, they can work with it.
Right.
But these books was brought back. They're not just an ordinary book. And it had been to the parish done overseen. We got some signs getting ready to go up. We had already working on the signs, okay? But I knew the opposition was gonna be like, well, you putting them signs up and that's not really what's supposed to be there because of that. So we already had been approved last year for the funding to change some of the historical markers. I didn't want anyone to think this was a political favor. I wanted them to understand this was wrong being corrected. And if we can be correcting it here, if our audience do the same in their area, go out, write down those historic signs, research them to see does it match up with the truth. If it don't, you need to do something about it.
Right.
That's what we're telling you. We are doing this. We're just saying if it's working for us, it'll work for you. Because most of those signs was put up by your enemy. So, we have been approved for funding to change the signs, and these signs will go up, and then you'll be able to come and see what we're doing. And when I come by you, I want to be able to see something you're doing. This cannot be a one-sided project. We can change in each city. But the reason they went and got these books, or should I say documentation, is so that nobody don't think the politicians just was playing politics with some underhand junk, because that's the way Louisiana operate in the United States a lot of times. If you get the right politician in, sometimes you can get some stuff that ain't factual. Everything I've done, we can back it up, and the politicians didn't do nothing they have to hide for. But LeTroy, this was the book I told you I found fascinating. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to pass that one to you. And you can tell us why you put them tabs there. So I want y'all to know, the books is not doing it. The fight for so many years is what's accomplishing it. The books put the seal. Someone something and say somebody else sort of like justified this fight. Nobody justified this fight but us, the Chahta. Nobody put any money in this. And whoever you is, you know you said that, you sent me that today. Ain't none of those people put nothing in this fight. So they did not bear proof to nothing. And I'm going to say like Will using Nidiua. He says, what Nidiua did is like you. What we were doing, Will, he said we putting the last nail in that coffin. And we don't owe nobody. We didn't take nobody's money to do none of this. We didn't run the con game. But we are coming back sharing our personal life and things we have done to try to help our area. To give you an example that it is possible through God and some work. You cannot sit there waiting on it. You can't be on your keyboard fighting for a little work, a lot of prayers, a little more work, and a whole lot more prayers. And you got to get up and you have to move. Don't just wake up and sit in the bed like you have to move. And you can start seeing changes in your area. But LeTroy, what made you mark this specific? Because you had everything ready. When you came to town, you had everything marked up. When I got to the parish, they was the ones that could read Spanish. They was getting excited and taking notes. They've been asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see in the book that made you excited? Well, let me ask you this first. Did you find anything in there that I had been saying? Because LeTroy is sitting in meetings with me for hours and hours. I don't mean like 6 hours and stuff like that. I asked y'all to prove me wrong or prove them right. I want y'all to hear this. And when I got that phone call from them, they both were so excited. I knew I caught a plane to go by them, and they know I don't like flying like that. What made you, as my son-in-law, this has nothing to do with that. That joy I heard in you wasn't, I'm the son-in-law, we felt, no. I heard something deep within you.
Right. So when we were in the museum, and I saw the map and saw Tchefuncta, and then she saw Bonfouca. Right. Then I just immediately put out my phone, started recording, because I said, well, I don't want to take pictures because that leaves room to say, hey, it was cropped, this, that, and the other. So I actually just started videoing, so you can try to dispute that if you want, to try to capture the whole scenery and what was going on at that moment. So I know when you see it, right, you'll know like, okay, I can use this information. And then we immediately called you and was excited, telling you about, we saw Bonfouca on the map over here in Spain at the Navy Museum Defense exhibit. And you were like, wait, do they have a gift shop where they have books? And we was like, well, you know, we was gonna head down that way. So we went to the gift shop.
Oh, we was looking for the map, y'all.
Was looking for the map that was on the wall, displayed on the wall, the mirror on the wall. We was looking for that actual map to bring back. And they didn't have that actual map like normal size, right? So, I mean, there's so many books there, right? And keep in mind, it's all in Spanish. So our idea was, let's just go through the books, go through and see if we can see any maps, right? So anything that's dealing with maps, we just sat down, said, okay, put it on the side. And then when we saw Galvez, like, wait, that's the first governor of Louisiana. I know he has some documentation in that, right? So put him on the side. And then we saw the books that said maps. So we just was grabbing as many books that we could that we think would be useful. And when we went back home, went back to the hotel, I brought the books, set them down, but we hadn't eaten because we had been in the museum about 7-8 hours, right? So between the two museums that we were in. So that was our last night there, and I had wanted to get the niece and nephew a gift. So I said, okay, well, let's just, go and we walk, and I know I'm going along. I'm taking you through this audience through the journey of what happened step by step, right? So long story short, we found the magnifying glass because my eyes.
That wasn't a regular magnifying glass. Yeah, I should have brought it to the show.
Yeah, magnifying glass is pretty much like that, right?
But the spectacle gadget?
Like one of these spectacle gadgets, man, on my magnifying glass. So anyway, I was going through it. I don't read Spanish. Not even read Spanish. So I was looking for anything that said Chahta.
There you go, that's the way I read too.
And so I was going through page by page, Chahta. See anything say Chahta, because that spelling was spelled exactly the
We
same
good in
way.
Spanish on that, huh?
Right. So anything I saw Chahta, I just put a little, in fact, it was just like a piece of paper. And I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm just trying to mark this page so I can come back." She said, "No, I got something for you." Well, she's a teacher. The bookmarks was her idea. So I just took the labels and started labeling every area that had Chahta or mentioned anything dealing with Choctaw, Chahta, anything with the tribes. And I was taking pictures with my phone, sending them to you, and just going through it. So when we went back to Saudi Arabia, every day I was in that book for about maybe 8 hours. Because I go to work with Nad, I go to work with her, help the kids, and then after she does her homework, we go to Starbucks. She's doing her homework, I'm going through the books.
So if we have these many tabs, y'all see the little yellow tabs?
Right.
He got some white ones too. Just the yellow one, boy.
Some
He
nice,
really went. I told you I was
books.
gonna do this. So you telling me these books, you and Nadia can talk from where she at, y'all. She over there watching on the mountain point. Y'all tell me at least where these yellow tabs is.
Mhm.
Is how many times in Spain documentations.
They mention our family.
They
Our
mention
family.
Right,
Y'all see this?
right,
Look at it. Just tabs.
right. And the pictures that Nad was showing on her phone was from those books, the maps and
So
stuff.
some of the maps y'all have that y'all saw actually is on the wall, but we actually have them in this here. And let me tell y'all, the parish now, the mapping department, we're trying to see through Spain, can we reduplicate for educational purpose only? Y'all with me?
Mhm.
So we have a big map machine in Paris. We ain't got no problem with that. It's just the idea of getting a clearance. Or if they can ship the maps to us here in the parish. But we plan on when we hit the road, having these maps that you physically can see them huge. I think the map department told us that they want to be 40 by 40.
About 40.
Their goal is to make the map 40 by 40. That's the parish. It's for educational purpose because it is our history. And we should have a right to be able to do that. So our parish working to see if we can do that. And we're not going to sell that map because we're not getting it done for sale. But we're getting it where it comes closer to this country. But when we move around from state to state, you get a chance to see it. Do y'all like that idea? Because y'all know how people is about their copyrights. So if that sounds good enough to y'all, run it out.
And just so that if they want to verify anything, it's the Naval Museum in Madrid, Spain.
Okay, say it loud now.
The Naval Museum in Madrid, Spain.
Did y'all hear?
The Naval Museum in Madrid,
Mm-hmm.
Spain. That's
Y'all-
Madrid. That's
Y'all heard
part
where
of
to
it.
get it from.
You can go.
Right.
Or if y'all want to go on a trip, go do it. And experience it.
It's,
For yourself.
about a block
They
away.
have a website, and they can see some of the same things
Okay,
on
she
the
said they
website.
have a website
Mhm.
that y'all can go see some stuff for yourself on the website.
Right.
So start there if you have to.
Mhm.
Isn't it good to have that information?
Mhm.
And I think I didn't bring it in here, but I think I have the paper with the website on it. And we'll list that. We'll list that.
Right.
On our Cooking with Chief Facebook page.
I
Okay?
have one request.
Go ahead.
I want all those African American professionals, professors to go to Africa and find that much information on
On your
what they
family.
talking about. On what they talking about.
And people like Mr. Waldo and Phoenix, y'all should be proud. Because Phoenix said she got bloodline coming back down through that Mississippi area. Anybody that have bloodline that's coming that originally below that 31st parallel, don't let nobody make you feel like this ain't your fight too. This your fight too. They stole it from you too.
Mhm.
Shipped you out of here on a lie.
Right.
This is our story. They don't want you to know what color they said you was in LeTroy.
Black. What did you say? Negro.
Say Negro.
Yeah.
You saw it with your own eyes.
So it's my own eyes. Yeah, in fact, one of the tabs, I'm off. Right, where's that? Yeah,
So you and I didn't saw it, I saw it,
Right,
cause you
right.
had to tell Mark the Parish saw it.
right,
And it said Bonfouca was where the chief lived, the grand chief
right.
lived in Bonfouca.
Mhm.
I didn't see, what's that place up there? Come on, no,
Philadelphia.
no, not Philadelphia, the other name is. Remember that man came to the park when we was talking, when we was doing this show out there? No, what is it?
Naval Museum.
Nuba, what is it, Mississippi?
Sunflower.
Neshoba, Mississippi. Okay, come on, Wheeling,
Neshoba
Mississippi.
How do you know what?
Yeah, we don't know what I'm talking, Neshoba County.
Neshoba County, like.
That's where they say the head of the
Oh,
nation
the head
was.
of the
I
nation.
didn't find Neshoba nothing in here. I can't even say where Neshoba at. Okay,
They can't Neshoba, they can't show Neshoba on there.
Right.
all right.
Right.
But we did have Bonfouca, Chahta, Tchefuncta, and my grandpa told me to keep them three things together. And if you come down here, you'll see parish signs.
Mhm.
LeTroy tell you, that let you know that the Chahta nation, Tchefuncta tribe, and you can follow it all the way to us.
Right.
Okay? We did not find Lacombe in here. Okay? Did you see Lacombe?
No.
Because you know what? There were no Lacombe in 1493.
No homeless.
There were no homers or none of that. Matter of fact, where the homer said is now, on these maps, it says it was the Chitamacha.
Right. And just to let some of the viewers, I know someone was asking, do we see this tribe or that tribe? On the West Coast side, like in California, there are a lot of tribes that was over there.
We saw it.
Right. Now, to recall them off of my head, I really can't tell you. I had to sit down and look in the book and say, okay, it's this tribe, that tribe. Got to keep in mind, this country had many tribes, right? Many tribes.
But this one was the biggest.
But this one here, the Chahta and Chickasaws, you know, they focused on that because Spain had an agreement with the Chahta
That's right.
where they were trading. And then when the French came in, the Spaniards wanted the Chahtas to not negotiate and trade with the French. Same thing with the British. The British was infiltrating up north, right, Canada, and they were giving those Indians up their weapons and, you know, allowing them to set up their stations there. Same thing what America does today.
Macomb County is in the house.
You can continue.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the British from up north, they convinced the tribes up there they trade with them, where they gave them weapons and stuff like that to fight against the Spaniards. So the whole changing the name, in my opinion, I think it's done deliberately because the Chahtas wouldn't help the British out, you know, to fight the Spanish. So that's why I think the names started changing and stuff.
Now, this was a son-in-law, been in the family for 19 years. He know more history than all these people running around here talking about. I'm talking about the ones that's federally recognized, state recognized. He know more about history. They might need to hire him.
Somebody that was on Roland Martin or something here.
Where's
Oh,
that?
it's their personal history, so we can't really say it.
What is they saying?
I was told by Howard University professor who speaks on Roland Martin show that I was misguided when I wrote to him regarding our history. Of course,
A lot of people were.
Because you don't have any
And
physical
don't feel
documentation
bad about
to
that.
back it up.
That's why we want you to come
That's
cooking
why.
with us.
Right.
There's nothing wrong. You can go back and
Right.
fix that. That's why we're not here to beat you up because you got misguided.
Right.
99% of the people was misguided.
Right.
But we're glad you came on this show and was able to share that because we're not attacking you for that.
Right.
We embrace you and we will get in touch with you. Get in touch with me on Phoenix. I would like to see what you wrote. And you need to go back to Roland, please. I know that's what people say. And also thank him and I thank you from going on there. Now, what can we do with Roland and them? Since you know somebody asked him,
Straighten them out.
to let's straighten some of this out together.
Right.
Because I'm tired of them calling everybody African American. Now, you need to come on board with us. We want a correct curriculum. If they don't want to help us, we'll raise the money through this network that we have, and we'll produce our own curriculum. And I bet you it'll be more factual than what they have.
If you don't mind, can you thank the people in the chat who's signing the petition? They are all signing the petition.
Oh, thank everybody that's signing the petition, Phoenix. Even say we all everybody in the chat room, thank you that's signing the petition. That petition will be the petition that get us the voice in Washington to talk, have a congressional or Senate hearing. Chief Warhorse did not put that petition together. I did not ask to be the spokesperson, but I was asked would I be the spokesperson. And the designer of that is Phoenix Moon and Mr. Waldo's and the DeVitas, and if I'm leaving anybody out, Phoenix will bring those names into you. But they asked me to go represent what happened to the Black Indians. Because number one, they don't want to be like these other people that we saw in the Senate. Got to hire lawyers and researchers and all of this just to say they come out of hole and they not Indian, they Asian and whatever. We're going to be able to take facts with us to Washington. So signing a petition will help bring this stuff to Washington. And if your people fell below the 31st parallel, and I want y'all to hear this. A lot of y'all are above the 31st parallel, but you got to remember, your people left for either removed through removals, removed through slave shipping and human trafficking, or some of them moved because they went for jobs in California and Chicago and Michigan and Ohio. There's reasons you left from below the 31st parallel. And you got to remember, they did all the building of industries above the 31st parallel, so you would have to leave home to go to work, okay? But there are paper trails. And what you have to do is, all this junk that people have let you absorb, because your mind is a sponge, you have to wring that sponge out on what you thought. And then you have to reach out and absorb the new knowledge. You heard my son-in-law, he wanted to be a lawyer. Boom, came there. He got this crazy mother-in-law that sits up all night building computers and programming computers. And I didn't know he was getting interested. He was sitting across from the desk asking questions. But I did not keep the knowledge from him either. Now, I told him you get addicted, didn't I? A computer can become a very addictive thing. And I shared the knowledge with him because back in my time, there was not a lot of women in the computer. So I had a lot of white friends that was nerding about two black cousin or Indian cousin that was nerds. And that was not too many communities around here with computers. You remember that? But when LeTroy came along, he's coming from the waters and he started telling me and not even, wait, they ain't doing this over there. He didn't wait and say, oh, I'm not getting involved with these crazy people. They doing crazy stuff. I'm going to keep with the norm. Sometimes you got to leave your norm to find your rightful place. Okay? I'm proud he's not a lawyer the way lawyers going through stuff now.
Right. That's one of the things I was telling now. I respect the profession.
Yes, I do too.
But in order for you, in my opinion, it's just my opinion. I believe if you want to be truly rich as a lawyer,
you gotta do some crooked things.
You know,
or you gotta turn your head on some stuff.
You know,
or you gotta walk up and say, plead guilty for a less sentence.
Right. You know, and my conscience, you know, like I was telling I say as a public defender, if I would have went to law school and finished and became a public defender, I feel guilty, you know, convincing someone to plead guilty just because the police officer had a perfect report and this person I know couldn't really afford a lawyer, right? And on the other side of that coin, as a prosecutor, I feel bad prosecuting someone, right? Knowing that that person is poorly represented. So I just asked God to give me another profession where I can still help people.
But I didn't lie to you.
Oh, yeah.
I told you that computer once you get in it.
Right, that's the world.
And I told you that motherboard.
Mm-hmm.
That's the heart of the system.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I compared me, this is what I did, the computer to the human being. And that processor is the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I thought he was looking at me like I was crazy when I was describing body parts to the computer. But now that you got as addicted to it as I am or more, I was telling the truth.
Right.
And then it helped you understand us as a people better.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing can go out on that computer and it can shut the whole system down.
Right.
Especially that motherboard.
If you don't mind.
And I went to the motherboard for a reason.
For the sex.
Because people talk about the motherland.
That's all I'm about to say.
So in that computer, there's a motherboard.
Right.
And if the other stuff don't connect to the motherboard, then the computer don't work.
Mm-hmm.
So in life, if you ain't connecting to your motherboard on earth, you out of place, it's not gonna work. When they use the word mother, they ain't call it no father board.
No.
I don't even know if they're going to their fatherland. Everybody talking about the mother on a computer. That motherboard is the life. What we have seen here.
Daryl, yeah. Welcome, Daryl. Computer world.
Something about the census.
My brother, computer brother.
Census report.
Darryl Harris, he said he's in computer.
Yeah, he's a computers, yeah. So he understands.
So you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, just what it takes for you to troubleshoot that computer is what you have to do to troubleshoot our situation in this country and in what happened to us. And we gotta find out what it is.
Right.
Now, I'm gonna let LeTroy finish talking. Now, I'm gonna let him talk, because I'm gonna go on. No.
Yeah.
But I want him to talk because I want him to talk with me just as much. Y'all know I do that to people. I give him a chance to have the mic without my presence. A lot of people don't want to do that. I'm not holding no show. I have so much stuff going on in my life. I want to see a lot of people with a show. But LeTroy, you have the mic. Now, I told him if I had to run out, I was glad he was going to be the one that hold it up. All right, here we go.
Right. So one of these books that I was going through, it documented their the explorer from Spain to America, and half of it is in Spanish, the other half is in English. So basically, they translated to English. So I was able to go through and read it and get a big picture of what actually happened. And this is the book here. So I'll bring it a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about.
Okay, got it.
Right. So that book has a lot of information on Galvez and his troops when they came over to America, came over on this side of the world and interacted with the different tribes. And in fact, he was an ambassador. He was the ambassador to the Chahta tribe. So he was the one that will communicate with the chiefs to negotiate to try to get them to help Spain learn the area and set up camp to because they were fighting the French. You want to come up here?
Hey, Johnson.
Yeah.
Come on.
Double up.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So and I think Chief touched upon it a little bit yesterday when Galvez said he shook the Chahta's hand. 13. He said after going through shaking 13 Chahta men's hands, his whole arm would become numb because they was just that physically fit, and that blew me away. Like wow, and they were tall, and he described them as like beautiful men. They weren't. He said they looked good. And I was like, what? You see this? He said the men look good.
And it was nice to hear something about them, the culture at that time, how they painted their faces red.
Mm-hmm.
That just reminded me of my grandmother and her brothers. They always told us that they called the men in the family red man.
Okay.
And I thought it was because of the skin, but they said the Chahta painted their faces red. And they also had, other rituals like flattening of the head and things like that.
Right. So if anyone out there want to ask any questions, feel free while we're up here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try to answer as best as we can, honest as we can.
Y'all could talk a little bit while I'm waiting.
Yes, he came before DeSoto. He was the governor of.
He was sent to conquer the waterways.
Yes,
remember?
right,
He
right.
had to secure the waterways.
Right.
One was the mouth of the Mississippi. I can't remember which bayou, but it was another waterway.
Right.
No,
we talking about Louisiana now. We're not talking about the whole U.S. Who was it?
They were specifically sent to
Keita. We're talking about Louisiana.
what we call Louisiana now.
We call it Louisiana now.
Louisiana.
I can't speak for like up north where New York, D.C., all that area. I don't know who was up there, but I know he was sent.
They did have it
here.
on the maps, but we
Right.
did not
Focus on that.
focus,
Focus on that,
you know,
yeah.
that wasn't what we were
Right.
looking at.
Right, he was the governor, they made him governor of Louisiana.
No, flattening of the head. They did a flattening of the head, and the person, the historian at the time, didn't understand why they were doing that, so they didn't document that. But there was a way that they flattened the head.
Meaning
And
shaping the skull.
They shaped the skull. Yeah. And they did it from birth.
Was this tribe in North Alabama?
Parts of Alabama, yes, it was.
Also, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi, Alabama. It's just was what we call the different states. All of that was just one land. It was called Occidental.
The Occidental North
Occidental
Mhm.
North, yeah.
and the East and West.
East and West,
Occidental East and
East and West,
Occidental
yeah.
West.
Right.
So,
Florida,
yeah.
right. So that was known as Florida. It wasn't Alabama, Mississippi, anything like that.
Mhm.
East and West Occidental Florida.
Mhm. From what I remember, Randall, it was the planking of the back of the head.
Right.
And they weren't sure if they did it for like a religious purpose or what. That's what was documented. They weren't sure why they did it.
James Arthur. No, I didn't.
But when you think about it, when
We all
someone
have
else said when children are born, we do that. They tend to rub the head and kind of shape the skull. So, I mean, maybe that's where we get that from.
Anything but James.
Mm.
Overthrow. I don't recall, to be honest with you. I'm not saying,
No, we didn't see
I
anything
didn't.
about that.
I really didn't focus, I was really trying to focus on anything that's dealing with Chahta, Bonfouca, Tchefuncta. That was my main focus, to understand, what happened and why things changed and shift the way it did. That was to my understanding, so I can document it and send it to Chief so she could take that information and do her thing with it.
You want to tell them about, someone asked about the migrating from the South. Why did they leave? Remember when the deal was made, you could stay and if you kept your land, if you stayed, you had to abide by the rules of the country, but it did not go for us.
Right.
We weren't a part of that, but somehow we got sucked into that when they took over our land. That was a part of the Louisiana Purchase when they were moving people more west, or they just left wherever they were to go. But what was happening was when they were pushing them out west of the Mississippi, the land that was promised to them when they got there, other people were occupying the land. So they had to go other places.
Right.
North Carolina, part of Choctaw Nation.
I'm not sure about North Carolina, but again, parts of
Right.
Georgia.
Right.
And remember the split was, they had
Okay.
it listed, but it
Tell
wasn't,
them-
on
Tell them the earlier slave trade of the Indians. They took Indians from North and South Carolina, sold them into slavery down here and into going toward, let's do this, what was Louisiana, not West Florida,
Mhm.
but the
Right,
Louisiana.
that's what gets complicated.
So your family can get scattered. I hear some of y'all saying Blackfoot. There originally was no Blackfoot down here. Blackfoot was at the top, but they got sold some and some got pushed, and some came down along with the French. And then you're going to get to your Acadianas that we've been talking about. Okay? We're going to get to that topic because you had Russian Creole, French Creole, Spanish Creole, British Creole, and that's a topic nobody talks about. So, this is what I want to say. Look at all these questions. Boy, we can stay here for a long time. We ain't going to do that
We
tonight.
started getting on the shaping of the heads because we were telling them that a part of the
That's not,
culture, they
It was
listed that as a part of the. What
but
was
that's
happening.
not the whole
Mm-mm.
story what they told them here. But we do head shaping more than one way.
Yeah, they talk about it.
Yes, I'm saying. So yes, head shaping, nose shaping, bone shaping period was a part of our people culture. But the way the story is told in the United States is not 100% factual.
Well, they didn't know why they were doing it. They documented that they recognized that it was a tribal thing to do, but they didn't understand, the nature of it.
Right.
It was for a religious practice or whatever. They didn't know.
Okay, y'all, we ain't gonna keep y'all all night.
Can I say something?
You
Yeah.
move close.
You wanna come up?
No. But here's something that's interesting, because I remember reading sometime, two things in Asia that they used to do. One was the women used to bind their feet, another was the children used to boys to flatten their heads. That's over in Asia.
Wow.
He telling the truth. So Mike going to the point I'm saying, that could have been some of that, of the Choctaws, could have been a mixture of something that came in with the migration. Okay?
Right.
And when two different groups marry each other, the children normally pick up a new culture.
But it's something that goes back way far. It's this practice that goes back.
It goes
Like they
way
said,
back.
Way back.
Even into Mayan culture.
Yes.
It's the old practice.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one, Mike, to bring the Asian point. But there is no such as a Bering Strait, okay? That been debunked. Like there is no real Darwin theory. That was just eugenics. And we got to remember those things. I'm not going to keep y'all all night tonight. We promised we were going to come back. And Phoenix, Mr. Waldo, I told y'all tonight was going to be Lanyap. We enjoyed you all last night. We enjoyed y'all patience with us.
Yeah, this is fun.
Right. It's a lot, especially with math, because as the years went on, the math started changing. So,
Yes, some
it started changing.
of our people did leave from Mississippi area, which we got to realize which Mississippi, and went to Chicago. A lot of people that live in those areas, I call it the abandoned people. That was another removal. And after the industrial world began to tumble, those people are left there, and their land now have been taken by developers and stuff like that. Yes, we're going to talk about those things. I want to say something, though, before we go. I'm going to come around and get back on the camera. Okay, your grandfather mentioned Blackfoot. Like I said, when you hear Blackfoot, think of migration from the north to the south. Okay? So there's a chance of that Canadian part mixed in there somewhere because you're right on that borderline. You got to remember, at one time, Chahta country went all the way up into Canada above Hudson Bay. Okay, above the 49th parallel. All right, that's another topic and another show. I ain't gonna let Amy remind me of that one.
In this time period, this time.
But we just got to look at the whole history and then break it into the geographics and the timelines. And then, like Nadi was just saying, things start to changing as it walk. So we don't want to just throw that out there. The next thing, anyone, and I'm gonna come around because I want y'all to see me on this one.
And can we thank Mr.
Sure,
Curley for
we
hanging
did.
in there with us?
Mr. Pearly, I even say we want to thank you for hanging in there with us. Mr. Pearly, you and Will gonna be getting together. We are gonna take people who are in our network that's in music, pull you all together. We are gonna take anyone in the network that knows technology. Okay? We need to network you all together. We're talking about power here now.
I know we've motivated people to probably take a trip to Spain.
Oh,
so
yes.
I want them to be prepared when you go there. They speak very little English. I don't think we ran into very many people who could speak English, right?
Right, but ate like some of the waiters.
Some of the waiters who were not from there could
Yeah.
speak some of them.
Right.
But just know if you decide to go, just have you a good
Program.
translating app
Yeah.
or someone with you who could speak so that you could get around. They were very friendly. There was no issue about, I know for me, when I travel and go places, yes, I do look at how they feel about this color skin tone being in their country. I did not have any problems in Madrid. It is a tourist area, but they are very proud people. So if you decide to go there, Just know that you may have to maneuver your way with a little Spanish, knowing the basics. It will help if you just know at least how to say thank you, could you help me, or which way, just little small things, but it's fun. You can make it, go as a small group if you can, but just, I want you to be prepared. You're not going into a place where they speak English. Most places I've been to, they speak English and their home language, but Spain was not one of them. So, just keep that in mind if you decide to make the trip. You can still have fun if you decide to go. I encourage everyone to go. Things are written in English, so you'll be able to get around with signs for the most part. Well, for the most part, maybe not the toilet, but for the most part, you'll be able to get around.
Well, Nadia, I thank you and LeTroy. Y'all have to go make some trips back to some places, don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gotta go backtrack.
Mm-hmm.
But I thank y'all for taking and doing this, bringing it back to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you all take it serious and take what we have given you today with this meal or these 2 days with Nadia here. Take that dish. This is one of those dishes you have to stretch it so you can feed a lot of people. Take it home. This is one of these dishes you can add some more water and stretch it as a long gravy. Okay? Share it with your family. Inspire people to come see the show. We're not putting on no. No, I need to change the
You'll
word
have to
show.
do the mounds on another show
Yeah.
too. A lot of people are curious.
There's a lot
the
about
mound.
mound. I am a mound builder. We still practice that. Is my children one of the better holidays, even though they grown. My son-in-law have experienced it, and anyone that's been around has experienced, including Noreen. That fire you throw in have a reason.
Yes.
During the ceremony of the dead, fire mean that we still have fire, we still connected to our people. We still remember who we are. So when y'all hear me telling y'all send that fire, I want you to know that fire has a purpose with the mound building people, but we'll get to that. Now, I also would like to say, we are gonna move into a point where we take our talents and network it to uplift ourselves. Those who know technology, we need you to come together so we can help our brothers and sisters who don't and who are afraid. And I'm telling y'all, I do it. I do it with the veterans. I had a veteran who didn't know how to turn a smartphone on, nothing else. That scoundrel almost probably on here now. Okay? He don't miss nothing. So, you're never too old to learn. Okay? So our older people, to go to the doctor, they need to know technology. We don't have time to wait on America to reach into our communities in the inner cities and the rural areas and help our people. And all these churches our families that built, it's a shame they don't have computer labs for the children and for senior citizens, because to get their social security check or any information for the VA to get their stuff, they need technology. And so I'm here to say, I want to build a network of us that can help and assist our senior citizens. People think computers are cheap. They're not. You buy a computer out of the store, most people don't know this. But in the seniors now, you have to come back and have money to go buy the software. Then they don't know what software they have to buy. I have seniors that have bought computers and say, this thing ain't working. Like, maybe you didn't get the software you need. So we're gonna take our talent, that's our time, and we're gonna seed it to help our people. And when we help them have better understanding, we all grow, okay? So let's look at that. So I'm gonna figure out, or y'all could text me or whatever, send me a message if you're interested in helping for us to put together technology. But that same technology, America is fixing to be rebuilt because it have failed. They just haven't told you. What we need to be doing is being a part of building a network that can help us be a part of the outcome and the rebuild of America. So your technology people becomes very important for that. If we come together right, we can go to Washington along with that petition
Yeah.
and demand a portion of the funding that's there for the rebuild of America because of the COVID and everything else that wiped us out. But we must come together and have a good plan, okay? Next thing, being that this part of Louisiana dealt with business, especially the tribe, and most records in Louisiana is under Spain. I'm gonna go back, because I found out now that after y'all era, this stuff vanished. So I'm going to be sitting down with some leaders to see what funding can we get so that we open, everybody told they want to speak an Indian language. Don't worry about that. I grew up in that household, nobody that's gonna understand you. That language, my people spoke that we need. So, you need a language that people understand and that can help you understand these documents. So I'm gonna see how can we get a school or some funding to bring Spanish class, not only for children, but for adults. They have French classes in Louisiana, but they have not made available to people of color in the Indian community Spanish classes. So that'll be something that I'm gonna be working on, okay? And I think you all need to be trying to do the same thing in your area, especially if your family members came from below the 31st parallel, especially West Florida. If y'all like that idea and y'all interested in it, send us some kind of file, something, because I'm really sitting away from the screen. For real now, send something colorful and we're not even, too much reading,
I
too
keep
much
seeing
computer.
they're saying mounds in Arkansas, just to
There's
let you know,
Moundsville in
it
Arkansas.
went, the Chahta, remember Chahta and Tchefuncta, it went all the way up to Arkansas.
We have
So you're gonna
evacuation
find
place in Arkansas. I'm going to do a live one day from Arkansas. There's a mountain there that's called Moundsville, Arkansas. I may go out there and do something so that y'all can see. The mountains go all the way into Chicago and all of these places. So we need, that's right, Mom.
They wanna know how they can get in touch with you.
They
Okay.
should look on the description page, they got it.
Okay, on the description page of this show is the way that you can reach me and contact me. And we need to build a network. This is what I tell y'all, and we're gonna close out. We have 188 people on here. Y'all are dynamite.
Someone
Okay.
keeps asking about, do you know William Red Eagle Weatherford?
No.
No.
Where are you from?
I want y'all to know, Chief never got involved with other people's tribal business. And all this thing with powwows, that's not real. Powwow mean meetings of the mind. And me and my family, we powwow, but it's about dealing with issues and stuff like this. I told y'all, we don't have time to be dancing, jumping, all that junk. We like 5 jumping over 5, whatever kind of dance.
I didn't even see them describe us that way.
No,
In the books when they encountered us, I didn't see. They said we do love to sing
oh yes,
and play instruments,
yes.
but they didn't say anything about like these strange.
Jack came with them.
Did y'all hear what Nadia said?
They did say we love to sing. I said, well, that's true.
We do
Even
love
if
to
we
sing.
can't.
I was just saying, even if we can. Okay, did y'all hear what she said? It did not describe. And none of the stuff she read, us doing all that weird stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? But we would chop your hand off if you were still. So sometimes you don't know if you want to be an Indian or not when you hear that one, do you?
Miss Connie Johnson is in the description page. How to get in contact with her.
Okay, it's in the description page. And I want to say this, for everyone that have made a contribution, we thank you.
She said it's not in the description page. She sees a hashtag only.
I thought it was in there.
Okay, we'll check it.
But it's Chief Warhorse at gmail.com or Cooking with Chief.
Chief Warhorse at gmail.com
Or Cooking with Chief at gmail.com.
or Cooking with Chief at gmail.com.
The Chief.
Cooking with the Chief at gmail.com.
No.
I didn't know it was
Added
the-
the. You added the done.
I will go with the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chief Warhorse.
Go to Chief
Chief
Warhorse at
Warhorse
Gmail
at
for right
Gmail.
now.
That's the one I use.
Now, what I want y'all to know, we don't have a staff now. I do be on send y'all on
Yeah,
here.
she doesn't have a staff.
And
So not paid.
I even said I'm sure not paid. Now I want y'all to hear, I'm not trying to ask you, but I just want you to hear this. Now, if I don't answer you in 2 or 3 days. Don't think I'm ignoring you, is what I'm saying. Cause I have been else in the chats on here, so many per day. I do check my email, so be mindful that I am still a leader of a tribe and constantly meeting and fighting the developers. If I don't get back with you by the time we do another show, don't come on and tell me I ignored you now, because I'm telling you, sooner or later I answer my email. What I mean about literally, I'll give you an answer back. Or if you put a phone number in there, I will call you. If you email me your phone number, I most probably will give you a call quicker than I will type it back to you. Because I will probably be driving down the road from one project that I'm working on to another. And a lot of times I'll return calls while I'm en route to doing stuff, okay?
Learned a lot about, I see a lot of talk about Russia. Learned a lot there too.
There was a lot, I don't know if y'all know, but y'all need to check it. There was a Russia-America. When we get through working this map, something they didn't want to give you in geography, they didn't want to give it to you in history. We're going to take this year and make it a learning year, okay? And then we're going to make some changes. But the next thing, everybody work to get your numbers up. Getting your numbers up means more people you can reach. You're going to work to get this channel numbers up. More people we reach. My husband used to say, the more people you have, the less money you need to worry about. Because if something happens with storms out there, I would like you all to be able to, because you go to the CPRN page.
And the Facebook page, Phoenix posted that in the chat if they didn't see that.
Okay, she said, Phoenix posted in the chat, the Facebook page. I would like us to be a little more independent when there's disaster. If we see our brothers and sisters in the jail and they can't get to food or water, I already do. I'm a tier 1 with my tribe. We have tier 1s in our tribe. I bought a food truck. No, you didn't. If me and Will, we don't go pick that truck up. We so busy we didn't even pick that truck up. But it's a freezer truck where we can help to shift stuff around and help the community. So I'm just telling y'all, we trying. And I need y'all to try in your areas. But we might have to feed our brothers and sisters. Because sometimes these disasters is hitting like 2 and 3 a week in different areas. And after a while, the government gonna say, we can't do nothing. So we have to start looking at those things. We need to go back and get our people back into building. Because building is a skill that our people had. And when houses tear down, we might have to get 100 people. We buy a board of piece and get over there and fix something back to get somebody some shelter before the cold weather comes. Let's think like that, okay? Because either one of us can be the next victim to these disasters that's hitting across the world, not only in the United States, across the world. And I did not want to close this show out with hurricane season right around the corner, and tornadoes been hitting us all through the year, so we have not had a break in the United States with disasters. So when you see me again, we are going to be talking a little bit about your disaster plan and how you're going to make it. I want to thank you all so much. LeTroy and Nidiua, thank y'all. None of us have to share our personal life, but we did, because if sharing our life can help save a life, is worth it. We want to thank our Ema back there in the corner, our little stage director, Cousin Will over there on the soundboard, Doreen, she be running everything we need to go get and bring it back, and Mike make sure the stage is up and down, and so do Cousin Will sometimes. So, and Sharon is not here with us tonight, but we have to thank Sharon too, because for her to be a woman being white and working on an issue like this in a parish like this is a major stand. You know that, Nadia.
Yeah, a lot
So
of people thought it's a man behind the camera is a woman.
is a woman behind the camera. Yeah. And she have been really dedicated. Any of the equipment we have in the studio between me, Will, and her. Here's the studio. So it's not about the color, it's not about the party, it's not about if you're a woman or a man. What it's about is what, oh, now, did you mention that? That the women work as hard as the men. And we still do that.
And it's all side by side.
Side by side we fought. And Nadia grew up with a mom and a daddy that worked side by side, sometimes even in cement and the kids. But better than that, he worked side by side with me in civil rights. And he still found time to go to school meetings spend time with his children, and he worked long hours, 7 days a week. So what I'm saying, it takes that village you was talking about, Nadia, to raise a family. We're gonna close out tonight with all peace and blessings. If the Lord say the same like old people saying, you'll be seeing us back real soon. We gave you 4 days. I've never done that before. Now, don't think Chief gonna be here next
Miss
week.
Connie, it's chiefwarhorse@gmail.com.
Davida, Phoenix, Mr. Waldo,
chiefwarhorse@gmail.com.
Find My Feathers, and all of y'all. Y'all have made this show grow real fast. And from what Phoenix told me, y'all stick with me longer. We have an audience that are hanging there for 2 hours with Chief. That means y'all love me,
Almost 30.
and I love y'all.
Yeah.
But we have work to do.
Yes, 2 in the morning for some of y'all.
Okay, even say some of us go till 2 in the morning.
No, it's
It's 2 in the morning for some.
Well, it's 2 in the morning over there going the other direction. Y'all have peace and love. Nadia will be back. LeTroy be back. So will we. If y'all have a list y'all want to have for the next time, make your list.
And we travel a lot, so if there's something you want to know, send her a question and I'm sure she'll get it to us.
You know I'll be zapping stuff right on over to y'all. And I did let her know all of the comments y'all gave. The thing as much as up my scene. We'll be seeing y'all later. Amy, what you gotta say?
Good night. Or good morning. We are.
Cause we'll take a